So Manchester City start this game 7 points behind Liverpool. They won at Crystal Palace yesterday. 6 points behind Arsenal, who lost at Villa. Villa, with that win, are 5 points above Manchester City. If you're Rob Edwards, if you're Luton Town, Nathan Jones, how do you go about beating the champions of England at Kenilworth Road?
I think you really need to be right at your A game. You need to bring your A game today. You need to press at the right times. You defend your box well. You need to, have a bit of luck. And then when you get opportunities, take them. And things like set plays are going to be vital. But putting balls in Man City's box, and let's see if they can defend that.
Right, Manchester City have gone clever from kickoff, and Foden's tried to play one through to Julian Alvarez. Luton Town were expecting Kovacic to play the ball back into his own half. He cheekily backheeled it into the path of Bernardo Silva. He found Foden, and Foden couldn't quite find Alvarez. So we were talking about innovation and coming up with different plans from Pep Guardiola. There's a little example of it right at the start of the game. Manchester City white shirts, burgundy shorts, white socks, attacking the Kenilworth Road stand away to our left-hand side in the first half. Jack Grealish back in the team on the ball. Rodri's back from suspension. That's absolutely crucial for Manchester City. But I'll repeat again, just in case you are tuning in, to our first commentary on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. No Erling Haaland in the Premier League for the first time this season for the champions. Ruben Dias side foots the ball forward to Bernardo Silva. City moving it around very, very slickly. Ball nearly gets away from Dias. He stabs it forward to Silva. He gets it back from Walker. Rolls another pass into the hulking figure of Rodri in central midfield. And Andros Townsend tries to close Nathan Ake down here. Ake across to Gvardiol. Gvardiol plays it up towards Alvarez. Alvarez centre forward for City. Nice holding off of his man, turn pass to Foden, on to Silva, looking for Foden. Foden's in on goal here, one touch, angle's tight for him, shoots across goal, saved by Kaminsky, volleyed wide by Bernardo Silva. First chance of the game, Luton 0, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, Man City showing the quality there. Luton have come out and pressed, thought they could win the ball high. 2 quick passes and they're out. I actually thought he took the wrong option, actually playing Foden. I thought Kyle Walker was really going with pace on the outside there, the 3v2, but first chance.
Absolutely fantastic to have Nathan Jones with us for this commentary this afternoon, a man who stood on the touchline beneath us as the manager of this football club in a couple of spells over 300 times. So there is not 1 inch of Kenilworth Road that Nathan Jones isn't aware of. We're looking forward to the insight throughout the afternoon. Here's Manchester City's goalkeeper, Ederson, passed out to Gvardiol, and Gvardiol's caught in possession by Doughty, who's playing right wing back this afternoon for Luton. He makes the tackle and it goes behind for a goal kick. So Luton have Thomas Kaminsky in goal. The 3 centre-backs today are Tayden Mengi. Tom Lockyer has returned from a back injury. Gabriel Osho is out. Amari Bell continues as the left-sided centre-back. Ryan Giles, the summer signing from Wolves, makes a 4th Premier League start of the season at left wing back. Alfie Doughty has switched flanks. He's the right wing back. Ross Barkley, we heard from him in the build-up to kick-off. He's alongside the Zimbabwean Marvellous Nakamba, who's back in the Luton team this afternoon. Andros Townsend and Jacob Brown either side of Elijah Adebayo, who starts again through the middle with Carlton Morris on the bench. Luton drop back into their own half as Manchester City play the ball to the left, and Gvardiol continues at left back for City with Nathan Ake as the left-sided centre-back in the City back 4. Bernardo Silva's been robbed by Adebayo. Adebayo comes thundering forward down the left-hand side, then stops and plays back into his own half. Here's Amari Bell. Bell takes his time, pushes his pass back to his goalkeeper Kaminsky. He's all in green, different shades of green. So the middle of the goalkeeping top is a lighter green and the sleeves and the shorts are a darker green. It's chipped out to the left here to Giles. Giles puts plenty of pace on the pass back to Bell. Bell was thinking about going down the left, but Alvarez cuts that option off. And so Kaminsky has the ball again, and Alfie Doughty's got both arms in the air. And now that clearance is coming towards our commentary position here. Mengi's lost it on the halfway line. Kovacic nips in, one of the 4 changes for Manchester City today. Ederson in goal, Walker, Dias, Ake, Gvardiol, the back 4. Bernardo Silva, Rodri and Kovacic on the ball right now. Foden and Grealish either side of Julian Alvarez. 4 minutes in. And it's Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Rodri plays to Walker. Luton are pressing high here, and Manchester City got to be sure of the passes at the back. There's a little bit of a risk taken by Ederson. Back heel to himself inside his own penalty area. Adebayo wasn't able to make the tackle. What do you make of it so far, Nathan?
I think it's as we thought it would be. Man City enjoying the lion's share of possession, really comfortable, confident, the rotations in midfield, and
Right, Manchester City building up play inside their own half. In the WSL, Arsenal playing Chelsea. Second half of the game, there's a penalty. Flo Pollock.
Yep, there's a penalty for Arsenal. Alessia Russo over this ball. She won it. She was taken down in the box. This would make it 4-1 to Arsenal. Alessia Russo over this ball then, and she strikes it into the bottom corner. Arsenal 4, Chelsea 1.
So an Arsenal win moves them level on points with Chelsea at the top of the table. That sounds like it's going to be a convincing win too. Kilmarnock have beaten Celtic by 2-1 in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers with their win against Dundee yesterday. It means the difference between the two teams is 5 points, and Rangers have the game in hand. Everton, Chelsea, Fulham, West Ham is underway. This is Luton, Manchester City. This is 0-0. Diaz in a forward position for City. Rodri plays it into the feet of Foden. Foden pings a little layoff back to Kovacic, who's got to start the build-up again. All the orange Luton shirts in front of him, all inside the Luton half. Rodri goes running from right to left in his turquoise boots. Low ball fizzed out to Grealish. Grealish with the peroxide hair flying behind him as he lays it off to Foden. Wide to Gvardiol. Cross into the near post. Lockyer clears. Here's Nathan Jones.
Really interesting to see the understanding of Foden and Alvarez in this. Foden at times it becomes the 9. Alvarez dropping in. Foden then from his 10 position, finding space either side of the defensive midfield player. The understanding between them, because you're world-class players, is excellent.
Foden on the turn to Grealish, edge of the Luton penalty area. Grealish with the twinkle toes, dribbling into that box. It's played back to Gvardiol. Gvardiol has support from Rodri, comes back to Ake. Ake plays across the halfway line here to Diaz. Diaz gives it back to Ake. Ake's got time to get his head up. Pass forward is a straight one to Alvarez, back to Rodri, wide to Gvardiol, infield to Grealish. Grealish looks one way, passes the other. Rodri collects again for Manchester City and plays, I thought he was going to play back into his own half. Instead he turns and gives it to Gvardiol. The passing is sharp from Manchester City. Grealish is well tackled by Mengi. Mengi is down hurt, and Luton are going to stop play. So we can get to Goodison Park for a first update of the afternoon. Tom Gale watching Everton-Chelsea.
Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Ali, but we've had the game's first effort on target. Palmer played in, Mudryk wide left, is cut back to Enzo Fernandez, shot low but pushed away by Pickford. Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Commentary of that one over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Fulham West Ham, how has that started? Chris Wise.
0-0, but West Ham have had an early chance. James Ward-Prowse free kick 30 yards out. You thought he's not going to shoot from here. He did. He clattered it towards goal. Leno with a decent save, springing to his right. Fulham 0, West Ham 0.
Key question for you, Chris. Who's your vice captain in your fantasy football team this week?
You know it's Mo Salah, so I'm smiling.
Yeah, a lot of people will have done the same. A lot of people will have had Erling Haaland as the captain, but a lot of people will get the points from Mo Salah. Now then, Nathan Jones. As for the real football, Tatum Mengi's been brilliant for Luton so far this season, so they'll want him fit and firing. He's just taken a slight knock there.
Yeah, it looks like a slight knee injury. Whether it was the impact or whether he's had a twist, we'll see. But yeah, he's been key to Luton's successes in recent weeks. And again, like Ross Barkley, one that's gathering a bit of momentum at the club.
So just waiting for the game to get back underway. Goalless in the other 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, as you've just heard. The Fulham West Ham game, if you want that as a commentary, that is available online. So that's via the BBC Sports website and app. Tottenham Newcastle's our commentary at 4:30 this afternoon. John Murray and Pat Nevin at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Adebayo brings the ball down inside the Manchester City half. Ryan Giles plays back to Amari Bell. Amari Bell across to his skipper, the Welsh international Tom Lockyer. Luton in the orange shirts with the white strip down the left-hand side of the top, the black shorts and the orange socks. Manchester City just penning them in a bit here, and Bell's got to be careful. Bernardo Silva's breathing down his neck. Down the line to Giles. Giles does well to play it forward to Adebayo, holds his man off. Ross Barkley's involved. Here's Lockyer now, just outside his own penalty area, and looking to get Andros Townsend away down the right-hand side. The pass is slightly overhit, and it goes out for a throw into Manchester City. Yeah,
been a good start. Both sides, you know exactly how you thought it would be. Again, the lion's share of possession for Man City. They've had one chance in the opening sort of 9 minutes, but Luton look like they want to press high, they want to get amongst it, and you know, for me, that's what they have to do.
Oh, that's a marvellous pass from Ake from inside his own penalty area with the right foot, just to loft it over the head of Jacob Brown and try and get Kyle Walker away down the right. Luton have closed down the space, so Manchester City build again from inside their own half. 9 minutes played at the Kenny, as Nathan would know it. Kenilworth Road. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Alvarez caught on the halfway line, and he shakes his right hand in pain as he writhes around, holding the toes of his left foot. So I think he might just have had his toes trodden on.
It's a cold day.
There.
These thin boots as well, not like the old boots, wafer thin boots.
Yes,
One thing
right.
I was going to comment about Pep having, not many grounds you have to walk across the pitch to. I wouldn't imagine those shoes were cheap.
Had a little jog actually, didn't he, Nathan, in those boots? That can't be easy actually, but
Well, he was some player, so
he still looks fit as a fiddle, doesn't he?
He looks $1 million.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah. And his team often plays like $1 million, but at the moment, not right now. No wins in their last 4 games. Pep Guardiola, in his managerial career, has never gone more than 4 games without a win. So if Manchester City don't win this one, that will be a first in his star-studded managerial career. Manchester City need the win to keep the pressure on the other teams who are after their title this season. Kaminsky clears with his right foot up towards Townsend. Flick on towards Adebayo. Ake's got it covered for Manchester City. Adebayo wants to take him on. Ake makes the tackle and the ball goes out for a Luton throw, attacking position on the right. Adebayo getting the nod ahead of Carlton Morris again today, Nathan.
Yeah, look, I would imagine it's much of a muchness in terms of 2 very big, strong, physical strikers. Both have on their merits, getting the side. And look, one starts, one will come on, I'm sure.
11 minutes gone in the first half. It's Nathan Jones with us here at Kenilworth Road. Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Throw in from Doughty, comes back to Mengi. Mengi's okay. He's recovered from the blow he took. Floodlights shining brightly under greyish skies to our left and bluish skies to our right. This sort of cloud drifting across the top of us, and Amari Bell is playing the ball back to Kaminsky. Not the best first touch from him. Clears with his left foot, not the best clearance either, but Bernardo Silva can only head it forward and out of play for a throw into Luton.
Important Luton have a little bit of possession at times as well, because Man City are a possession dominant side. The more they have, the more they create. So if you can just take up, even if it's a small percentage away from that, you then obviously limit certain, a little bit more of their potency.
Throw in for Luton, left back position, midway inside their own half. Ryan Giles, joined from Wolves in the summer, started the first 3 Premier League games of the season. It's only been substitute appearances since, but Issa Kabore ineligible today because he is on loan from Manchester City, who are the opponents this afternoon. Still 0-0. Lockyer plays back to Kaminsky. Alvarez closes in. Kaminsky's got time to drill the ball with his right foot downfield. Gvardiol lets it go. Thought it was going to run out for a throw. It does run out for a throw. Champions Cup action again this afternoon in the Rugby Union. Sale Stade Francais being watched by Chris Jones.
10 minutes into the second half, Sale 9, Stade 5. Sale have struggled all afternoon to turn their pressure into points, but they have got a third penalty from George Ford to give them a 4-point lead. And remember, with the teams coming up, the Sale have to play the likes of Leinster and La Rochelle, as well as going to the Stormers. A win today is a non-negotiable for the Sharks. They lead by 9 points to 5 with half an hour to go.
Sorry, Chris, that should have been the mighty Sale, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should have done. And the fact that I'm at Sale and Mark Chappers isn't presenting is a bit of a blow.
Massive blow. Thank you, Chris. More from Chris throughout the afternoon. Commentary on Sports Extra of the latter stages of Leicester against the DHL Stormers in the Champions Cup this afternoon. That is after Everton-Chelsea, which is over on Sports Extra at the moment. Bit of a kerfuffle here, Nathan. What's happening? Gvardiol was fouled. Manchester City have the free kick, and the referee, Tim Robinson, just having a word with Lockyer. Anything to do there?
No, nothing really. I think it was Marvellous Nakamba that actually did the foul, but I think it's just a little bit of argy-bargy after, nothing to write home about.
Okay, we won't worry about that. Free kick for Manchester City. Gvardiol, the bearded Croat, plays it back to Ake. Ake to Rodri, very comfortable taking the ball with 2 men around him. Ross Barkley defending high up the field for Luton. Ruben Diaz tries to play it forward, deflected. Kyle Walker leaps, heads it towards Foden, lobs a slightly dangerous pass back into his defence. Rodri plays across to Gvardiol, forward here to Alvarez. Alvarez beaten to it. Barkley to Townsend, tried to lay it into the path of Adebayo. It was just behind him, and Manchester City very quickly will try and turn defence into attack. Pinging the passes around. Walker's lost it though. Good sliding challenge from Jacob Brown. Brown on the move for Luton inside the Manchester City half. Kovacic comes across. No free kick given as Brown goes down. Luton fans incensed at that. Luton still have the ball, and here's Lockyer. Lockyer's diagonal pass into the Manchester City half. Townsend takes it and just holds on to it. Challenged by Foden, plays it back to Lockyer again.
obviously think it's the right decision, but I can see why Luton fans, it was maybe a little bit of contact, and Luton probably wanted a free kick there so that they can, things like this, can put it in the box and really look to put pressure on Man City.
Ironic cheers from the home fans. This time there is a foul given for a challenge on Jacob Brown again, this time by Rodri. It's wide on the left. First attacking set-piece opportunity for Luton in the game, and goodness me, they are good at these. They caused Arsenal all sorts of problems on Tuesday with corners and free kicks.
Big, strong side will have real good delivery. Alfie Doughty. These are the opportunities. These are the moments that one Man City are going to have to defend, but two, Luton really can take advantage.
Rain starts teeming down now in Bedfordshire here. Manchester City with the free kick to defend. 15 minutes gone. Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, West Ham 0, and this is Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Doughty's left foot curls it in towards the far post. Mengi wanted to attack it. Gvardiol flicks the header away, and it goes out for a throw into Luton in an attacking position on the right-hand side. In the WSL, Arsenal thumping Chelsea today by 4-1, and Kilmarnock have beaten Celtic in the Scottish Premiership. They were one down, but they won the game by 2-1. Alfie Doughty just beneath our noses in the commentary position on the gantry above the bobbers stand here at Luton. Takes the throw. Mengi finds Barkley. Little 1-2 with Nakamba. Barkley goes this way and that, then runs away from Alvarez, and with his left foot just calmly caresses a ball across to Giles. Forward to Adebayo. Adebayo just holds off Kyle Walker, twisting and turning. Back it comes to Barkley. Barkley rolls the ball under the studs of his right boots and plays back to Amari Bell. Bell doesn't go back, goes forward. Wide left here to Giles. Giles infield to Adebayo. Nice touch and turn from Adebayo. Still going up to the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. Pass is blocked, and now City with Foden. Foden's caught. Free kick, and Chris Jones has now seen a try in the game between Sale and Stade Francais. Chris.
Huge try for Sale this. Tom O'Flaherty's nipped over in the corner. They tried for the first 54 minutes to get over the Stade line. Hadn't managed it. O'Flaherty scored. Ford couldn't convert, but Sale leads Stade by 14 points to 5. And just a message to Steve Crossman, Ali. I want to say how much I'm enjoying the show today.
Now, why has that gone over my head?
Because I said it was a blow that Mark Chapman wasn't presenting. It's and he's
very good.
And Steve's texted me about it.
Very good. Covering all bases, Chris. Yes, absolutely right. Here's Alvarez. Alvarez to Foden. On to Grealish. Grealish trying to work it onto the right foot, edge of the D. Little scoot pass is blocked. Gvardiol is there and chests it down to Kovacic. And Kovacic is chased out of town by Andros Townsend and has to play the ball back to Ake. Now the rain has just eased. The notes beneath me, the commentary notes, slightly rain-spattered. Foden dribbling forward, elusive runner, lays it back to Gvardiol, corner of the Luton penalty area. Townsend is there, makes the tackle, throw-in for Manchester City. Nathan Jones.
Again, to the position of Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden really causing Luton problems either side of the defensive midfield players.
Rodri on the move, barnstorming run into the Luton penalty area, laid back here to Gvardiol heading for the byline. There's the cut back into the box, but it's not found a white Manchester City shirt, and it's scraped clear and away, but Townsend can't catch it. It'll be another throw for Manchester City just beyond the halfway line.
We had a big chat before about Erling Haaland's, the importance that he brings, the stretch and play, the hold up, whatever it is. That to me is what they miss when they get in those positions. Just being able to put it in the box and knowing they've got a real target. That's what I think they're missing most.
Yeah, Manchester City trying to work the pretty patterns around the edge of the box again. Alvarez gets it back from Silva. Wide it goes to Walker. Bernardo Silva pops up in a little pocket of space, edge of the area, lays it back to Rodri, onto his right foot, good hit, and Kaminski palms it away with his left hand. The ball is still alive inside the box. Miscue clearance from Doughty. Grealish takes it off him. Grealish runs away from him. Coming back down the left-hand touchline as City attack that goal away to our left, and Gvardiol involved again. Just rolls it to Kovacic. Lovely build-up play at times from Manchester City. The link-up play between Alvarez, Foden, Bernardo Silva. Here is the little Portuguese. Strokes a pass to Grealish. Manchester City's number 10 looks for the run of Silva. Kovacic slides in on Adebayo. Loose ball. Gvardiol strong in the challenge. Runs to Kovacic. Rodri plays it back to Ake. Ake forward to Foden, laid off to Kovacic, back to Ake, and Luton keeping Manchester City at arm's length at the moment. Great noise inside the stadium. What a turn by Gvardiol to lose Doughty. Plays the 1-2 with Silva. Still Gvardiol into the penalty area. Then he gets the ball caught between his feet, but Bernardo Silva is there. He takes control of it just shy of the byline on the left. Low cross into the near post. Foden's touch, driven shot. Lockyer blocks. Ball is still in play. Here's Bernardo Silva again, and he manages to find a way out and gets it back to Kovacic. Kovacic looking for Silva. Silva takes one touch with his left foot, tries to feed it to Foden, who was making the run forward. Doughty's under pressure. That's a risky pass across his own penalty area. Gvardiol half blocks it, chipped up in the air. Silva chests it down, plays it to Kovacic, and City switch the angle of attack. It's gone central to Diaz, and Diaz plays back to Ake. Those Luton defenders, midfielders, really got to be on their toes, and Nakamba just twists and turns inside the City half but runs the ball out of play.
Atmosphere's excellent. Every little challenge, every run is being cheered. You know, the fans doing their part here.
So Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Former Luton Town boss Nathan Jones with us here. 20 minutes played. Fantastic commentary positions, this, Nathan, but you are open to the elements, aren't you?
Yeah, you are.
Well, we don't mind that.
I know we were praising Luton for the magnificent job they've done on the reconstruction. Maybe a little window would have been nice here.
Well, I think you and I have done 2 games together so far this season. It was freezing cold and it was very wet at Exeter, and it seems to be the same again today. So Kovacic towards Foden. Foden passes beyond Silva, intercepted by Bell. Diaz says, I've got it for Manchester City. Points to where he wants Ake to go. Ake follows orders. Now the ball at the feet of Rodri. Rodri's got Ross Barkley right in front of him, played across to Ake again, inside the Manchester City half. Grealish with the bulging calves, very close up to us here, socks rolled down. Foden on the ball, played back to Kovacic. Foden again, little 1-2. Foden in bright purple boots as Kovacic finds Rodri. Foden back to Ake, keeping the ball moving, all inside the Manchester City half. Ederson plays a pass through the penalty area to Kovacic. City find a way out. Here's Bernardo running across his own half. No one putting a challenge in yet, so Bernardo's able to bring it forward. Then outside of the left boot, curls one into the path of Gvardiol. Gvardiol running freely up to the edge of the box. Shot half deflected and it bobbles wide, and that'll be a Manchester City corner.
Yeah, real good intricate passing there from Man City, showing what a real classy, class act they are in possession.
Right, just before the corner, a goal at Fulham, Chris Wise.
A goal for Fulham, leading West Ham 1-0, and it is the rejuvenated Raul Jimenez. What a header this is. Palhinha's cross, Jimenez headed it beautifully with power. It's like the Jimenez of old, but that's how he's been in recent weeks, and it's Fulham 1, West Ham 0.
Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Corner for Manchester City with the rain sweeping across the ground. Silva's low cross from the short corner into the near post, volleyed away by Nakamba. Alvarez takes the throw quickly, bounces it into the feet of Silva. Good run made by Gvardiol. Gvardiol's cross nearly finds Foden. Luton have cleared to the edge of the box. Adebayo, that's awkward for him, did okay. Ball to Doughty, now to Townsend. Townsend looking for the run of Adebayo. Ake's got that covered. Ake turns defence into attack quickly for Manchester City, and Gvardiol really has seen a lot of the ball in forward positions on the left. Plays it to Grealish. Foden tries to get it back to Grealish, runs to Alvarez. Ball's pinging around on the edge of the box, and now Luton able to play out. Bell to Giles. Good run made by the Scotland international Jacob Brown. He's tripped by Rodri, and that is a free kick to Luton. A wicket in the cricket. India's women against England's women in Mumbai. Henry Moran.
Third of 3 T20s, England with an unassailable 2-0 lead in the series. They've lost 2 wickets and 2 balls. Amy Jones for a well-made 25, and Danielle Gibson has been bowled at first ball into the 12th over. England 67 for 5 now.
Right, we've got some weak winter sunshines trying to peek its way through to add to proceedings here at Kenilworth Road. Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Fulham leading West Ham by a goal to 0. Tom Gale, what's happening at Goodison Park?
It's Everton 0, Chelsea 0, but 1 for 6:06 simulation game later. Ali Cole Palmer booked for a blatant dive with Gareth Southgate watching here. He came from the blind side of Mykolenko, inside the box, hung a leg, no contact. Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Sounds like Cole Palmer might be getting a "you're better than that" from one Mr. Sutton this evening on 6:06. Robbie and Chris taking the calls as always after our commentary on Tottenham Newcastle. 6:06. 6:30 through until 8 o'clock tonight. Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Ruben Diaz striding forward for City. Not enough on the pass to find Walker. Adebayo makes the tackle. So we're 24 minutes in. Nathan, Luton have acquitted themselves, well, as they have done all season, really well, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't say it's been comfortable because they've had some really good possession, Man City, and dominated the ball. But in terms of penetration, in terms of real creating clear-cut chances. There hasn't really been one yet.
Barkley's volleyed pass to his left finds Brown. He's just inside the Manchester City half, right on the left-hand touchline in front of the main stand. Luton have done well there, got it back to Lockyer. Lockyer across to Mengi. Mengi slightly isolated there, didn't fancy taking Grealish on, so he's come back to his goalkeeper, Kaminski. Kaminski, floated ball with his right foot, beyond Townsend. Gvardiol controls it on the half volley, runs away from Andros Townsend, or Townsend Senior, as it says on the back of his orange Luton shirt. Here's Grealish. Grealish, like the Pied Piper, dragging defenders with him across the Luton half. Lays it off to Silva. Silva to Walker, who knew he was offside. He lets the ball run through his leg and the flag goes up. So either free kick to Luton or throw in to Luton. Luton 0, Manchester City 0.
I think Pep would be happy with the amount of control he has in the game, but knowing what he's like and the perfection is, I think he'd want a little bit more quality, a little bit more penetration. Can they create some chances? Because as I said, the longer this goes on and it's 0-0.
We could almost ask him from here, Nathan. He's that close. You could shout down to him, what more do you want, Pep, from your team at the moment? He's got his arms crossed and he's sitting back in his comfortable seat in the dugout beneath us. Gvardiol lets that ball bounce in front of him and plays it back into his own half. 25 minutes played, Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Kovacic across to Diaz. Fulham leading West Ham by a 1-0, and it's still goalless between Everton and Chelsea at Goodison Park. Diaz, strong run forward. Run made by Bernardo Silva ahead of him. Silva turns inside the Luton penalty area, moving away from goal now. Back to Rodri, cross to Kovacic, 30 yards out in a central position. Nakamba in with the challenge. That'll be a free kick. And that is about 30 yards out, maybe just a little bit more, right in the middle of the pitch. Nathan Jones.
Yeah, a little bit too far out for a shot from here, but as I said, anytime they're getting around the box, they've got real quality, they know they can be intricate, but they really do miss that pivot, they really do miss that target man.
Too far out for the shot, quite right, they've taken it quickly. Rodri finds Foden. Foden's drive, Kaminski, good save with his left hand. That came fizzing low and hard, and Kaminski got there just in time. Unfortunately for him, the ball just jumped up on the rebound and he was able to grab it. And I think, is he hurt? Is he okay?
A wonderful save, whatever. He looks like he may have damaged a hand or whatever, but literally a wonderful save, because that came through bodies. It was fizzing. That's a top save.
Saw that late. That's a venomous strike from Foden. He's hit that really, really well. Short backlift, lot of power. Great save by Kaminski. Back to Goodison Park, Tom Gale.
Where it's Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Ali, but the visitors feel forced into an early change. Their captain, Reece James, not clear as to why he cannot continue, but he's been replaced by Levi Colwill. It's Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Another try in the Champions Cup game between Sale and Stade Francais. Chris Jones.
And it's gone to Sale 21, Stade 5. Now that should be enough. Johnny Hill in the corner after some strong carrying from the Sale forwards. Great touchline conversion from Curtis, who's on for George Ford. The question now, Ali, with 15 minutes to go, can Sale nab a try bonus point? They lead Stade by 21 points to 5.
I thought you were going to say the question now is who's the better presenter, Mark Chapman or Steve
That's
Crossman,
one for post-match, I think.
6:06 possibly tonight with Chris Sutton and Robbie
get your calls in.
Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Ball has gone out for a throw. Tries, injuries, wickets as well. Henry Moran watching the cricket in Mumbai.
Midway through the 13th over, England 70 for 6, not going their way today at all. Bess Heath on T20 international debut, caught for just one playing the reverse sweep. England midway through the 13th, 70 for 6.
Thank you, Henry. Everton Chelsea, by the way, full commentary over on Radio 5 Sports Extra. Fulham West Ham, commentary available online via the BBC Sport website and app. Space is opening up for Manchester City here. Alvarez looks to his left and finds Grealish. Grealish has a chance to run at Mengi. Drops the right shoulder, little layoff. Oh, Alvarez tried a clever flick at the near post, poked it wide.
Big chance. As I said, Foden's position is causing real problems, coming off the back line into those spaces. Great first touch, linked, got in down the left hand side. Wonderful little clever ball from Jack Grealish, showing his quality, and Alvarez should have done better.
So goal kick coming for Luton, coming up to half an hour played. All the seasons today. We've still got a bit of breeze, but now it's lovely. The sun is out, fluffy white clouds, bright blue sky.
Sunny Bedfordshire.
Sunny Bedfordshire, exactly. Kaminski with the passionate Luton fans behind him in that Kenilworth Road stand. Clears the ball downfield. Adebayo's a good target. Heads it to his right. Gvardiol chests it down, plays it forward towards Alvarez, nodded away, but only as far as Grealish. Grealish has got Alvarez on the inside. Grealish again drops the shoulder, moves in field, tries to roll it into the feet of Foden, half deflected. Giles had to be careful there. Giles battles with Bernardo Silva for the ball inside his own penalty area, wins that battle and clears it with his left foot. I think he was hoping that Kaminski might be able to come and collect it, and in the end just didn't take the chance. City come again with Ake. Ake's just inside the Luton half, plays across to the left to Gvardiol, forward to Foden, loose pass from Foden for once. Townsend intercepts. Here's Mengi. Alvarez comes speeding up behind him. Last touch there was from I thought it was Alvarez, but the throw-in goes to Manchester City, and I just wonder whether Pep Guardiola, looking right at the assistant referee pointing Manchester City's way, intimidated him ever so slightly. Throw-in, foul throw. Luton fans love it, so it'll be a Luton throw. Luton 0, Manchester City 0. Full time in the WSL. Arsenal-Chelsea. Flo Pollock.
Arsenal 4, Chelsea 1. A resounding victory for Arsenal in front of a record WSL crowd. And Arsenal treated their fans to 4 goals, including a brace from Alessia Russo. Chelsea's Sam Kerr and Lauren James never got a sniff. Arsenal up to second, level on points with Chelsea. The title race wide open. Arsenal 4, Chelsea 1.
Thank you, Flo. Straight to Craven Cottage. Chris Wise has seen another goal. Chris.
Another goal for Free, scoring Fulham. They're 2-0 up on West Ham United. The latest scored by Willian. Pereira's ball across. Iwobi missed it. Willian didn't. And West Ham are 2-0 down in their latest London derby.
Fulham starting the day on 18 points. Chelsea in 10th on 19 points. So a win for Fulham takes them to 21. And could temporarily move them into the top half of the table. Manchester City have it with Rodri inside their own half. 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Low sun now streaming across the field over the top of the roof of the main stand opposite us. So just going to have to use the hand to shield the eyes here as Rodri plays to Kovacic. Under pressure from Nakamba. Kovacic forced back into his own penalty area. Adebayo's there as well, and Kovacic slips, clears it for a throw. He feels he was fouled. Great pressure from Luton.
Absolutely, and that's got the crowd going. You know, that's all part and parcel of Luton's game in terms of the high press, the aggression, forcing people into mistakes, and even the great Man City, you know what I mean? If you press them in the right way with that aggression, can give you things.
Luton 0, Manchester City 0. The one home win this season for Luton came against Crystal Palace. Draws against Wolves and Liverpool. Defeats against West Ham, Burnley, Tottenham and Arsenal. But late goals in the defeats to West Ham, Burnley and Arsenal. They've suffered some cruel blows here this season, Luton. Defending to do now as Walker brings it forward down the right. Bernardo Silva is wider. Little dribble from him, so difficult to get the ball off him. Finds Foden, touch from Foden, puts him in on goal. Kaminski slides out at his feet. Brave goalkeeping, strong goalkeeping. Foden takes a tumble, but Kaminski very cleanly got the ball. Nathan Jones.
Man City are a world-class side, but you feel at the minute they have to score the perfect goal. You really do. I mean, they have some intricate passes, the movement, the one touch, the quality that they're demonstrating, but you really do feel that they have to score the perfect goal at the minute.
The stat I like going into this game, Luton have won their last 7 home games against the reigning top-flight champions. So wins between 1985 and 1992 against Everton, Liverpool and Arsenal. Townsend with his right foot straight at Ederson, and Ederson pats it down and the ball falls at his feet inside the penalty area. And that brings to mind Andros Townsend, I remember at the Etihad Stadium, with a stunning left foot volley that won a game for Crystal Palace. So Manchester City well aware of his shooting prowess, and that was an awkward one because it swerved about in the air, but Ederson made the save. Diaz trying to drive forward, tackled by Ross Barkley. Barkley loses it. Here's Walker. Walker to Alvarez. Nice first touch. Ball spins up in front of him. Looks for the run of Rodri. Grealish in. He's tackled, and Townsend plays it to Alfie Doughty on the right-hand side. Doughty encouraged to bring it forward, running right underneath our commentary position, just overruns it, and out for a throw-in to Manchester City. Back to the action in Mumbai, the cricket, Henry Moran.
England have lost 4 wickets for 4 runs. They're 71 for 7, and the third time in this innings a golden duck. The latest, Freya Kemp, 71 for 7 in the 14th.
Thank you, Henry. Here's Ake for Manchester City. White shirts and the burgundy shorts today. Grealish just plays back to his goalkeeper, Ederson, who's in purple and pink. Forward to Ruben Diaz. Diaz able to comfortably run up to the halfway line. Finds Bernardo Silva in the inside right channel. Plays it to Walker on the right. Adebayo's back there doing the covering for Luton in a left wing position as Rodri curls a pass into the feet of Grealish. Grealish has his eyes on Townsend, not on the ball at his feet. Easily beats Townsend, steps inside him, continues his run. Nakamba's there to try and make the tackle. Grealish lays it off to Gvardiol. Back here to Kovacic. Kovacic, steady pass to Ake. Ake back to Kovacic, and it suddenly goes silent inside Kenilworth Road as Manchester City knock the passes around. Gvardiol tackled by Nakamba. Townsend plays it back to Mengi. Mengi immediately closed down by Grealish. Turns, plays back to his goalkeeper Kaminsky, who swings a clearance forward with his right foot. Gvardiol nods it down. Lovely touch from Rodri. Took it round Nakamba. Better from Silva. Back heel to Rodri. Rodri's little feed through to Foden doesn't quite come off, but here's Grealish. One touch, curling effort. Nakamba blocks the shot, and it'll go out for a throw into Manchester City.
Yeah, again, Man City showing their quality with little bits of improvisation. Bernardo Silva again with a wonderful flick, and he's just not coming off though in that final third yet.
No Erling Haaland this afternoon for Manchester City, if you hadn't heard. Foot injury. Pep Guardiola, the manager, asked before the game, described it as a bone stress reaction for his star centre forward. So you can be pretty certain, and there's no need for him to be involved. Red Star away in the Champions League on Wednesday, he won't be involved in. Next Premier League game is Crystal Palace coming to the Etihad next weekend, and then they're off to the Club World Cup before coming back to face Everton away on the 27th of December. That's 17 days from now. Foden, lovely low raking pass, finds Grealish. Grealish, corner of the Luton penalty area, back heels it to Foden. Foden's cross into the box. Nakamba blocks only as far as Grealish with the left foot. That shot's blocked. Kovacic has a go with the right and smashed it over the bar and into the Kenilworth Road stand.
Yeah, again, little opportunity, put the ball in. Not the quality they would have liked, and having to shoot from outside the box. That's Luton of keeping them at bay at the minute.
So, goal kick for Luton. Thomas Kaminsky will take his time, just slowly dribbles the ball over to the left-hand corner of his 6-yard box. 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Fulham already 2 up at home to West Ham. Raul Jimenez and Willian the goal scorers. Everton 0, Chelsea 0 at Goodison Park. Diaz's header across the halfway line. Kovacic pokes it towards Grealish, who plays it back to Ake. Ake passes back to his goalkeeper Ederson. Manchester City fans just behind him. Pass played forward towards Alvarez. Grealish holds off Lockyer. Lockyer tries to sort of come round the back of him to win the ball. Grealish is strong. Pass back intercepted by Townsend. Throw in for Manchester City. Let's check in again at Goodison Park. Tom Gale.
Where it's Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Ali. But I'm just monitoring Jareth Branthwaite. He came into a 50-50 with Cole Palmer, but the Everton man came worse off. He's limping at the moment, but still on the field. It is Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Throw in for Manchester City. Gvardiol has the ball above his head, looking for Bernardo Silva. That's a simple one which nearly found him. It went beyond Lockyer. Bell was in, gets an important clearance on the ball, and it goes out for another throw in to Manchester City midway inside the Luton half on the left, as they play from right to left in this first half. Grealish is going to leave that for Gvardiol. Gvardiol spins the ball in his right hand. Foden runs towards him. Luton fans, every time Gvardiol takes a throw, appealing for the foul throw.
I think he would adjust it slightly, just not to put himself in that position.
That's right, Nathan. Rodri, just inside his own half. Bit of a confusion there between Gvardiol and Foden. Townsend nips in, takes it for Luton. Adebayo runs towards him. Townsend sends him away. Step over, tries to get the cross in. It hits Gvardiol, comes back to Townsend. Low ball, well controlled by Doughty. Doughty takes it past Kovacic, tries to get the cross in. Ake blocks it at the near post. Here's Gvardiol. Oof. Tidy stuff inside his own box. Tight space, passed it to Ake, and Ake just clears it upfield, only as far as Lockyer. Good moment for Luton in the game. 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Kaminsky with the one really sharp save from the Foden strike. Ball is wide here to Giles. Ross Barkley lets it run across his body, goes running behind our referee Tim Robinson, drags the ball on the back heel towards him, forward to Brown, laid off to Barkley again. First time pass into the channel for Adebayo. Ake's gone across to track the run, just inside the Manchester City penalty area. Laid back to Giles on the left. Barkley's there for him if he wants. Barkley again lets that pass run across him. Whips a low ball to Mengi. Grealish closes it down, and Luton have to come back again to Lockyer, just inside the Manchester City half. Wide to Townsend. Grealish and Gvardiol double up on Townsend. Townsend dummies the cross with the left foot, gets it in with his right foot, too close to Ederson. Easy catch for the City goalkeeper.
Yeah, better little spell of play. It's really important when they do get into these areas that they come out of it with an outcome, because we know how good Man City are.
Right, now there's danger for Luton because Manchester City streaming forward. Bernardo Silva, ball at his feet, rolls it to his left to Grealish inside the Luton penalty area. Two orange-shirted defenders in front of him. Back to Kovacic. One touch from him. Rodri was there looking for the first-time strike, but it goes across to Walker. Now it's Rodri, 25 yards out. Cross to Gvardiol. Gvardiol goes further left to Grealish. Back to Gvardiol. Thought about the first-time cross, but instead comes central to Ake. 40 yards out. Little 1-2 with Kovacic. Luton back in their defensive shape. Gvardiol to Grealish. Grealish starts to move infield. Doughty tries to go with him. Foden's there. Low ball to the edge of the box behind Alvarez. But here's Kyle Walker. Walker hits one. That's a conversion. Miles over the bar. And it goes behind for a goal kick. Another goal at Craven Cottage. Chris Wise.
What has happened to Fulham in the past fortnight? They're 3-0 up against West Ham. A corner from the right. Tosin was there to meet it with his head. En route to goal, it came off Sofal. Deflected up and beyond Fabianski. Fulham 3, West Ham 0.
And another try in the game between Sale and Stade Francais in the Champions Cup. Chris Jones.
Third try for Sale. Augustin Creevey's the menace at the breakdown. That helped get field position. The forwards wait to work. Sam Dugdale, the impressive number 6, crashing over. Sale 28, Stade 5. Sale have 2 minutes to go 80 metres and grab a crucial try bonus point. 2 minutes to go, 28-5 to Sale.
OK, Chris will keep us posted on that. We've got Tottenham-Newcastle commentary from 4:30 this evening. Sports Extra this afternoon from 4 o'clock after the Everton-Chelsea game. You can get the closing stages, the latter stages of Leicester against the DHL Stormers in the Champions Cup. At 6:30 tonight, WSL commentary, Tottenham-Manchester United. And then our regular Sunday NFL slot from 9. Good game tonight. Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Luton fans baying for Manchester City to take a throw further back down the touchline. They eventually get their wish. Walker takes that throw and Ederson prods it to his right to Ruben Dias. Dias to Walker. Walker, slow pass back into his penalty area to Ederson. Ederson assesses his options. Back to Dias again. And Dias now sees a bit of space to bring the ball forward into. Adebayo chases him. So Dias stops and turns. Now finds Kovacic. Kovacic takes it round Nakamba, but he's lost it to Adebayo. Then he wins the tackle, 0-0.
Yeah, everything in that sequence there in front of Luton, which they want, because they can step on, they can press, and that then gives them that little bit of hope that they can nick something and counter quickly from there with the pace and energy they have in the front line.
Most of the cloud above us has now disappeared. It's beautiful blue sky and bright sunshine at Kenilworth Road. Throw in Manchester City, taken by Gvardiol inside his own half to Ake. Ake across to Rodri. Rodri, edge of his own box, diagonal ball, trying to get Walker away down the right. Walker's first touch takes him infield. It ran too far. Giles able to make the tackle, which got the roar from the home fans. Barkley up against Rodri. Rodri just too strong in the challenge there. Took it off him easily. Kovacic forward to Foden. Bernardo Silva making a dangerous run, as is Alvarez on the left-hand side. Alvarez on the ball, just inside the Luton box. Alvarez moving back towards the edge of the area, plays back to Grealish. Kovacic lays off to Rodri. Grealish again, first touch kills it stone dead. Little step over, turns back towards the edge of the penalty area, turns again Grealish. Slowed down for Manchester City, looking for a little avenue of space. And here's Bernardo Silva on the left. Chip pass to the feet of Grealish. Grealish stood like a statue now to Silva, back to Grealish, into Silva, back to goal edge of the box. Luton got to be careful with the challenges here. Gvardiol's step over. Doughty thinks that's the time to try and win it. Tackles Gvardiol. Luton get the goal kick.
I know we've said it, and I don't want to, at the cost of repeating myself constantly, they're getting into the final third with wonderful possession, really are, with real ingenuity, with quality. It's just that final ball, and because they haven't got a pivot, they can't just put stuff in there, and then it allows Luton to really get numbers behind the ball, really go and press, and the only time they've tested the goalkeeper is outside the box.
Just going to say that, Nathan, the Foden shot is the best chance that they've had, which is a quick fire strike. Kaminsky was slightly unsighted. It wasn't in the corner, but it went at such pace. He did really well to get down and and save that. And we've only got a minute left plus added time at the end of the first half. It's Fulham who've been scoring all the goals in the Premier League in the 2 o'clock kickoffs so far this afternoon, leading West Ham by 3-0. Still Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Half-time reports to come. Ederson, Manchester City keeper, inside his 6-yard box, just draws in Jacob Brown and then curls a pass away to Diaz. Brown does the chasing all the way back to Diaz, and Diaz quickly moves it infield, so Brown gives up for now. Kovacic plays back to Ederson. Luton happy for Ederson just to have it there, so Ederson walking pace. Now he's going to go for a longer strike. Floats it good 70 yards. Lockyer's read it, comes across and heads the ball out of play. Throw in taken by Bernardo Silva. No. Another foul throw. Right, Pep Guardiola's going to have to work on this, I think, with Manchester City. That's 2 in the first half. Bernardo Silva's complaining. He's saying, what on earth was wrong with that, ref? And Tim Robinson shrugs and says it was a foul throw. So Luton get the throw just inside their own half, and I'm just waiting to see the 4th official put the board up for added time at the end of the first half. That is Craig Pawson. 2 minutes of added time, end of the first half in the sunshine at Kenilworth Road, and Luton once again at home, really taking it to the big boys of the Premier League. Manchester City not having it their own way. An Erling Haaland-less Manchester City this afternoon. Foden in the number 10 slot there, lays it off to Kovacic, to Rodri. Rodri's pass, was that meant for Alvarez? Not sure. Alvarez's touch. He's tackled by Brown. Brown and Adebayo play a 1-2. Jacob Brown's going to try and use his pace to get past Ruben Diaz. Diaz jockeys for position. Adebayo makes the run beyond him, follows the ball down to the byline on the left. Aki right behind him, just forces him out to the left-hand touchline as Luton attack that goal away to the right. Barkley's pass finds Brown. Brown's cross deflected, spins up in the air, and Ederson is able to claim that at the near post.
Luton really would have wanted a corner there, right on the stroke of half-time, minute to go, like a little free hit, if you like.
Rodri's ball forward, headed away by Mengi. Grealish sensed an opportunity there. Luton fans sensed there could be a chance to put pressure on the Manchester City goal late in the first half. Needs a good cross here. Townsend's cross blocked by Gvardiol. Adebayo was the target at the far post for Luton. So 30 seconds to play in this first half. Lockyer forward to Nakamba. Nakamba's got Foden right behind him, plays back to the goalkeeper Kaminski. Kaminski first time, leans back, plays it down the inside right channel. Gvardiol unchallenged, heads it to his left. Doughty's there for Luton. Here's Nakamba on the ball inside his own half to Barkley. Got to be careful there. Brilliant footwork. Rodri tries to take it off him. Luton fans love that, and you can see why. Barkley's released Doughty. Townsend on the outside on the right. Last chance in the first half. Townsend's cross. Adebayo heads it in for Luton. The champions are stunned. What a fabulous goal from Luton Town. Started by the wonderful footwork of Ross Barkley in midfield. Then they got away down the right. They knew the opportunity was there with the cross. Townsend found his man, and Adebayo powers it home for Luton 1, Manchester City 0.
Wonderful. We said about Ross Barkley's influence before the game, how much quality he has. He's the one that puts his foot on it. They've got it into a wide area, and that's what Luton can do. They can put it in the box. They have size, they have aggression, they have power, and they can cause you problem. Of all Man City's dominance and all the amount of times they've got into the box, they haven't been able to do that.
Exactly. Were that the other end, you know who the big fella would be. It would be Erling Haaland, but it's Elijah Adebayo whose name is on the score sheet. That is a goal he'll remember for a long time. That once that cross comes in, Nathan, that is almost, you can't defend it. Very difficult to defend that with Adebayo's height and power in that position, isn't it?
If you put balls into areas, this is what they've been built on. If you put balls into areas, test people, then look, that's how they score goals. Of all Man City's dominance, they haven't been able to do that. They haven't.
Half-time whistle blows. Listen to that inside Kenilworth Road. Manchester City coming here without a win in 4 games. In Pep Guardiola's managerial career, he's never gone 5 games without a win. But at half-time, Nathan, Manchester City are behind.
Look, we do expect a reaction. Something's gone on, whether Pep's not happy with the amount of foul throws or whatever it is, but something seems to have gone on.
Yeah, we can see Pep Guardiola in heated conversation with Craig Pawson. He's actually also, Pep Guardiola is trying to keep some of the Manchester City backroom team away from the referee and the officials.
But all this is doing is generating an atmosphere here right, generating an atmosphere here that's only going to help Luton.
Well. Half-time scoreline at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Manchester City 0.
Nathan Jones, you were a player coach at Yeovil when Andros Townsend made his first ever senior appearance. Has he always been able to do that? That devilish ball, it was incredible, wasn't it?
Let me tell you, he's not just always been. When we took him as a 16-year-old, and he was single-minded, he was aggressive, he went at players. We took him and John Abika, and effectively that was the impetus that kept us up that year. You know, with a philosophy of taking young players. Let me tell you a little story about him. It's not just that has given him a stellar career. We moved down, and with the greatest respect, there isn't five-star hotels in Yeovil. We moved him into a hotel. He wanted to control his own diet. He bought a camping stove.
What?
And he bought a camping stove, and against all rules and regulations, him and John Abika cooked their own food in a small hotel room, just so he could eat food that he felt was nutritionally beneficial.
Is that the chicken feet again?
I had no idea what he was
That's
cooking.
what he eats now.
Does he eat chicken feet?
Yeah, he loves it. Apparently it's made him who he is. But I mean, he even has now Townsend Senior on his back, because his young son's called Andros Townsend Jr. And Senior is exactly what he is. It's his influence, it's everything. But at the end of the day, he is still capable of producing brilliant crosses like that.
Well, it's not just that. It's obviously he would have had to adapt his game slightly. He's probably not as athletic or as potently quick as probably was before. So he's had to adapt his game. His quality's still there. His potency's still there. His work rate, his desire, and one thing he has, which you can't buy, is the experience, and that's what he's bringing to this team now.
And just on Manchester City, you said during commentary there, it feels like City need to score the perfect goal. So are they overplaying a bit then?
I wouldn't say they're overplaying. I think
Right.
it's a necessity, because they can't just put it in. You know, Luton Town just broke. They were 30, 40 yards from goal. They check on his left foot and put it into an area. And because of size and power and the quality of the ball, they can do that. Man City can't really do that, because with the greatest respect, Alvarez isn't going to come over the back of anyone and really dominate. And that's what they're missing. Everything else, they've been 90% dominant.
Steve, you know we were talking about Ross Barkley before the game, and he was talking about his time at Nice. I just thought that is classic Barkley for Luton in that goal there. You know, that's the last 10 seconds of the first half. That 3 men on him inside his own half. Didn't take the easy route out, still saw an option to do something creative. The footwork was fabulous to get Luton away, and that's basically what created the goal.
Yeah. He's not a fantasy football player, is he? Because he's often the player before the player who gets the assist.
That's right, yeah. That's right, exactly.
Go enjoy your chicken feet then, Ali, I suppose.
Thank you, yes, I'll go and find the stove right now.
Lovely. Ali Bruce Ball and Nathan Jones at Kenilworth Road. What a potential story is brewing there. Luton Town have been absolutely brilliant, and they lead Manchester City at half-time by 1-0 in the Premier League. It's also half-time at Craven Cottage. Fulham flying, Chris Wise.
Yeah, they really are. Goals are in their DNA at the moment. Terrific, intense, creative. Craven Cottage gave them a rousing reception as they departed the pitch. Half-time score, Fulham 3, West Ham 0. The goals 22 minutes in from Jimenez. Beautiful header from him. 4 in his last 5 in the Premier League now after Palinha's cross. Willian side-footing into the bottom corner to make it 2-0. Tosin scored his first Premier League goal in 15 months. Pereira's corner, he met it. Commanding header, went off Sofal on its way in, but it'll still be Tosin's goal. West Ham rescued the London derby, didn't they, during the week after being 1-0 down at half-time against Spurs. I don't know how they do that today. They look really tired. Obviously, 24 hours later, they played compared to Fulham in midweek, but I have to say they're miles off it. Fulham 3, West Ham 0.
Fulham have scored 14 goals in their last 3.5 Premier League games. That's got a Goodison at Everton holding Chelsea, or a Chelsea holding Everton, Tom Gale.
Well, wait for my report for you to decide that, Steve. Half-time, Everton 0, Chelsea 0. Pickford with the game's only saves of note. First from Fernandes, who drove low towards the corner. Then Cole Palmer let fly from 30 yards but was denied. Palmer was booked for diving before Reece James's fitness issues continue. He was replaced by Colwell after less than half an hour. Injury concerns also for Sean Dyche, as he had to replace Ashley Young with Nathan Patterson. His team yet to hit the target. Half-time, Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
It's finished in the Champions Cup in that match between Sale Sharks and Stade Francais. Let's hear from my second favourite rugby voice on 5 Live, Chris Jones.
What an honour it is to share the airwaves with you, Steve. Sale 28, Stad 5. Strong second half from Sale. They won it 22-0 thanks to tries from O'Flaherty, Hill and Dugdale against the rotated Stad side, which didn't offer too much, if we're honest. The only nagging issue is how much Sale could have done with that try bonus point. They scored 3 tries but not 4, given they have trips to Leinster, Stormers and then the mighty, and they really are mighty, La Rochelle still to come here at the AJ Bell. Sale need every point they can get, but they've won and they've won well. Sale 28, Stad 5.
Big win that for Sale. In the Women's Super League, Arsenal, huge win for them, beat Chelsea by 4-1. It means they join Chelsea at the top of the Women's Super League, 22 points each from their 9 matches. Half-time scores: Brighton 0, Leicester 1 and Liverpool 0, Bristol City 0. There's 2 more games later on today, including West Ham against Everton, which kicks off in the next 5 minutes' time. In the Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 2-1 winners over Celtic this afternoon, so that means Celtic stay 5 points clear at the top, but Rangers have a game in hand. Kilmarnock have now beaten Celtic twice and Rangers once this season alone. We'll be making our first trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium shortly, ahead of Spurs versus Newcastle, which is a full commentary for you here on 5 Live at 4:30. We'll do that after the latest news with Joe Hornby.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. The former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick says it was clear to anyone involved with the government's new Rwanda asylum legislation that it would not work. Mr Jenrick, who resigned from the government last week, says he'll vote against the bill when it goes before Parliament on Tuesday. The Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove insisted the bill was robust and legally sound. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected international calls to end the war in Gaza. Addressing his cabinet, Mr Netanyahu said he'd spoken to world leaders and told them a ceasefire was inconsistent with Israel's aim of eliminating Hamas.
I told them you cannot on the one hand support the elimination of Hamas and on the other pressure us to end the war, which would prevent the elimination of Hamas. And I think that in this fight, justice is on our side and unity is among us. When we're united as people, as a country, no force could prevent us from doing the right thing.
The World Health Organization says the war in Gaza is having a major impact on healthcare there, with toilets and showers being few and far between. Civilians have been urged to leave the city of Khan Yunis in the south of Gaza as Israel intensifies its offensive. Hundreds of properties in Lancashire are without power after the northwest of England was hit by 2 storms last night. Electricity cables were brought down during high winds from storms Erin and Fergus. Al Spencer has accused BBC senior managers of attempting to hide behind lawyers to prevent the release of thousands of emails relating to a 1995 interview with Princess Diana. The journalist Martin Bashir faked documents to secure it. The BBC has been ordered by a judge to release the emails after initially only sharing a small amount in response to a Freedom of Information request by a journalist, Andy Webb. Al Spencer says he supports the move.
The case that Andy's just effectively won has taken 2 years. The people at the BBC who are responsible for this have hidden behind expensive lawyers at a time when the BBC, this great national and international institution, is making cuts. And I think that's obscene.
On BBC iPlayer,
this is GCI Silver.
The award-winning series Vigil returns. Murder at a military airbase.
Get cover! Medic!
This is tantamount to an act of war.
And a brand new investigation.
What evidence do you even have?
I have enough.
Starring Suran Jones.
I love you.
And Rose Leslie.
Come home, please.
Amy! Vigil. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
What a huge moment at the end of the first half at Kenilworth Road in our first commentary this afternoon on Premier League Sunday. Adebayo's goal makes it Luton Town 1, Manchester City 0, Everton 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 3, West Ham 0. The other 2 half-time scores. Both of those live, full commentaries across 5 Live, 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Let's take you back to Mumbai, shall we? That final ODI T20 between England and India's women. Henry Moran.
7 balls left of the England innings, 111 for 8 is the score. England lost 5 wickets for just 9 runs during the middle overs. They look a very different side when Nat Sciver-Brunt is rested, as has been the case in this game. England 2-0 up in the series, so an unassailable lead, but they're going to fall quite short of what would be a par score, you think. 113 for 8 now. Heather Knight, the captain, is on 40, and it's only the fact that she and Charlie Dean have managed to put on 37 that England's score looks vaguely respectable. 1 over left of the innings, 113 for 8 is the score.
Thank you, Henry. Chris Sutton has said this on Twitter. That second half performance was one of the worst I've seen from a Celtic team. You can be outplayed. You cannot be outfought and outrun. Well played, Kilmarnock. That one will be a good one for 606 later on. Killy fans, that's your 3rd win over one of the old firm this season. Celtic fans, that means the gap could be cut to 2 points at the top to Rangers 08085 909 693. Let's hear from the Celtic boss, Brendan Rodgers, unhappy with his side's second half performance.
The performance first half was very good. We scored a very good goal, could have had more goals, and our intensity was good, speed in the game was good, so I was pleased with that. The second half we never got started. We played the game that probably Kilmarnock wanted us to play, and instead of playing our game. You know, we weathered a wee bit of a storm first 10-15 minutes, which you'd expect. Lots of corners we had to defend and defended them well, but we didn't. We got rid of the ball second half instead of passing it. So that was the biggest disappointment for the second half.
And I thought the weather was bad in Manchester this afternoon. Despite the rain, Kilmarnock manager Derek McInnes did a full-on Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford sprint down the touchline when they scored the winning goal. Here he is on the spirit showed by his players.
I thought in the first half we were just too passive, too unsure, too hesitant. And Celtic will sniff that. You know, they'll take full advantage of it. Truth be told, I was pleased to get in just 1-0 down. I didn't like the version we were putting out there, and I take responsibility for that as well. It's not just my players, but I thought the players deserve all the credit. It's all right me telling them and imposing on them what we need to do second half. They're the ones that have got to go and carry out, and we ask a lot of them, but normally they answer up, and you need to do a hell of a lot right to beat Celtic, you know, and we did do that. It was a whole risk and reward, and we got the reward, thankfully.
In the Women's Super League, Alessia Russo scored twice as Arsenal beat Chelsea 4-1 to move level on points with the leaders, and this in front of a WSL record crowd of 59,000 at the Emirates. Let's hear from Russo, player of the match. She spoke to Joe Curry afterwards.
Well, Alessia, how do you begin to sum up a performance like that against a team like Chelsea at a packed-out Emirates?
Yeah, I don't think Sundays get much better than that. Great day. I think we started the game really well. We knew we wanted to come out, start positively, and the crowd got behind us from minute one. So, we worked hard in the week and we were ready for it.
Did it feel like a must-win game before you kicked off?
I think every game is a must-win game for us. We had a tough start to the season, but we knew where we want to go as a team. The league is so competitive that you can't take one game off, especially against the team against Chelsea. So, it was a massive game, and we knew we had to be at our A game.
Arsenal and England striker Alessia Russo. Let's go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the first time this afternoon. 4:30 full commentary of Spurs versus Newcastle with correspondent John Murray. Afternoon, John.
Hi, Steve. Well, I can tell you what the big talking point is here ahead of the game, and it's the problems on the East Coast main line that have really made life difficult for the Newcastle fans coming down from the northeast of England to London for this match. I think there's every chance that maybe dozens, maybe hundreds of them might not be able to get here today. I can see already there is a smattering of Newcastle fans in their section in that corner, but I'm expecting that it will not be full.
Yeah, it was really bad. I was trying to get down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium myself, going for Leeds this morning, and there were no trains at all, so it's going to be really, really difficult for Newcastle fans. And, you know, that would be a big deal for any team. But as Eddie Howe has said, it is the Newcastle fans, the home fans, that have made such a big difference, and they're just as important away.
Well, it is, and they have struggled away. There's no question about that, and I think a large part of that is the number of injuries that they have. But of course, Tottenham have got a lot of injuries as well, which is probably the reason that, or part of the reason that they've lost their last 3 home games. But Newcastle have put in big performances away from home. Remember how they won at Manchester United at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup, and they came within a few seconds and a controversial penalty of actually winning away to Paris Saint-Germain just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, their form away from home in the Premier League, just the one win away from St James's Park so far this season, is disappointing. But I think it feels like it's a bit of a survival of the fittest, this match today.
Yeah. John, thank you very much. That's correspondent John Murray, who'll be alongside Pat Nevin for commentary. We're ready for the second half then at Kenilworth Road. Pep Guardiola's face is a picture. Luton lead, could be a big story. Former Luton boss Nathan Jones is with Ali Bruceport.
Yeah, I was just about to describe him as grumpy Guardiola, Steve, as he came marching across the pitch to his position in the Manchester City dugout. There was a long heated conversation with the fourth official, Craig Pawson, at the half-time whistle. I think that was around the foul throw-in decision. There's been the Luton fans have been on top of the Manchester City players for that in the first half, but it was a foul throw that was given against them that eventually led to that opening goal. So that's where we stand. Luton 1, Manchester City 0. Second half about to get underway. Quickly to Henry Moran, watching India's women against England's women in the T20 in Mumbai. Henry.
End of the England innings, 20 overs, 126 all out. Heather Knight top scores with 52.
Nicely done, thank you, Henry. 5 seconds into the second half. Luton 1, Manchester City 0. Elijah Adebayo in the second minute of added time at the end of the first half with a towering header from an Andros Townsend cross. Manchester City coming into this one with 3 draws and a defeat in their last 4 games. Pep Guardiola is not used to this, certainly not in their recent domination of English football. Kovacic comes running forward, tries to chest the ball down on the halfway line, but it's cleared by Luton and it's back to Ederson. So what are we going to see, do you think, Nathan Jones? Anything different in this second half, potentially from Manchester City?
I think this first 10 minutes is going to be really interesting. If Man City are going to want to come out, they're going to want to try and retrieve that goal, if you like, and sort of and get that deficit back. And it's really important that the Luton just survived the first 10 minutes, and I don't mean to be disrespectful with that, because they've more than survived in this game so far, but I think just for perception and everything, this first 10 minutes is really going to be vital.
Jacob Brown, great defensive work from the left winger there, chasing a long ball all the way back into his own half with Kyle Walker right behind him, diving header back to his goalkeeper Thomas Kaminski. No Erling Haaland, in case you hadn't heard, to dig Manchester City out of trouble today. He is missing. Pep Guardiola described the foot injury as a bone stress reaction. We'll try and get more from Pep Guardiola in the post-match interviews after the game on what that means for Haaland and how long he might possibly be out for. You sense if Manchester City lose this game, I can see Guardiola giving those sort of questions quite short shrift, but we will do our best. Amari Bell on the ball for Luton. They're in the orange shirts, the black shorts and the orange socks, and they're defending the goal in front of the away end, the Oak Road end, away to our right-hand side. Manchester City in the white shirts, burgundy shorts and white socks, and the ball is back with their goalkeeper Ederson. They are Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Gvardiol and Ake. Ake's the centre-back, Gvardiol's the left-back. Bernardo Silva, Rodri and Kovacic, Foden, Julian Alvarez and Jack Grealish. And Alvarez there was just trying to find Grealish with a run down the inside left channel, but the pass was intercepted and Tom Lockyer is cleared for Luton down the right. Townsend chases, battles with Ake. Ake volleys it away, the ball stays in play and Kovacic is able to play it back to Ake. Thomas Kaminski made one really important save from Foden in the first half for Luton. He's the keeper. Mengi, Lockyer and Amari Bell, the 3 centre-backs. Alfie Doughty and Ryan Giles, the 2 wing-backs. Marvellous Nakamba fit again into the midfield for Luton this afternoon alongside Ross Barkley, who did some fabulous work which led to that Luton opener. Here's Amari Bell bringing it forward for Luton. Here's Ryan Giles, attacking position on the left. Cross deflected, goes behind for a Luton corner. The remainder of the Luton lineup, Andros Townsend, Jacob Brown and the goal scorer Elijah Adebayo. Nathan.
Yeah, it's a good start from Luton. Most of the half, it's only 3 minutes gone, but it's been played in Man City's half. Anytime they get in around the box, they know they can put it in. They know they've got that size and aggression, and I think that's going to be key second half. Anytime they get in there, and then that will generate an atmosphere here that, again, it's difficult to counteract.
Doughty's delivery can be deadly from these set pieces for Luton. Playing right wing back, but he's going to strike the corner with his left foot. From the left, let's remind you of the stat again with Luton leading Manchester City 1-0. They've won their last 7 home games against reigning top-flight champions. Corner in, Ake heads it away. The ball bounces 3 times in front of Nakamba. He lets it run and then he opens his body up and plays it to Bell. Bell's lofted pass down the left, just beyond Doughty. He was making the run in behind the Manchester City defence. The Luton fans applaud the effort, but it goes behind for a Manchester City goal kick.
This is exactly what Luton need to do. Be front-footed, step on, don't give Man City the impetus. Luton finished stronger the last 2 minutes in that injury time. It was all played in Man City's half, and then now they've continued that for the first 4 or 5 minutes of this half.
In the WSL, I can see Leicester are now 2-0 up away to Brighton in a 2 o'clock kickoff this afternoon. Arsenal moving level on points with Chelsea after a 4-1 win over them in the half-12 kickoff. Commentary on Sports Extra tonight of the game between Tottenham and Manchester United in the WSL, and the highlights on the women's football show, BBC One at 11:45 after match of the day tonight, which is 10:30 on BBC One. The women's football show 12:15 if you're watching in Scotland this evening, starts at midnight. So 4.5 minutes in, second half. Walker getting away from Adebayo, tries the rugby tackle, then gives up on that, so there's no foul and no yellow card. Walker's pass to the left to Alvarez, deep for Manchester City, but not as deep as Grealish, who receives the layoff. Grealish runs into the Luton half, runs into trouble, tripped by Adebayo. Free kick for Manchester City. No Haaland, no Doku, and no De Bruyne, obviously, who's not been around since the first Premier League game of the season. He is slowly on his way back, but it's a small squad that Pep Guardiola works with, and they're certainly missing Erling Haaland so far this afternoon. Grealish back to Rodri. Walker starts to make a powerful run down the right. Rodri ignores that and moves to his left instead. Finds Gvardiol. Gvardiol lays back to Kovacic. Kovacic rolls it into Grealish. Grealish can't hold on to it, gets away from him, but Rodri is there, into Foden, laid off to Diaz, 25 yards out. Diaz tries to float one into the far post. Adebayo blocks it, throwing for Manchester City. Yeah,
as I said, it feels like they have to score, the perfect goal. It really does. I mean, they're capable, but...
Walker's cross, that's at real pace, attacked by Gvardiol. Brave defended by Doughty, because he knew Gvardiol was flying in behind him. Doughty's actually been caught there as Gvardiol came past him. He's gone down holding his head, so we are going to get a stoppage in play. So early stages of the second half, Luton leading Manchester City by 1-0. Let's not forget as well, Luton win the game, they move to 12 points, would drop Everton into the bottom 3. Everton are playing Chelsea at the moment. They started the day on 10 points. They're into the second half. Tom Gale.
It's goalless against Chelsea here, Ali, but after 49 minutes the home side have had their first effort on target, edge of the box. Dwight McNeil, left foot curling effort, well saved by Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez is currently down receiving treatment after he came to claim a corner. He's injured himself to a break and play where it is Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Alfie Doughty being hauled to his feet here at Kenilworth Road. Bristol City's women 1-0 up away to Liverpool. They've scored 5 minutes into the second half. That's also a 2 o'clock kickoff in the WSL. Getting underway early stages. West Ham Everton in the WSL kicked off at 3. Tomorrow night, as usual, from 7, Monday Night Club. Mark Chapman in the hot seat. Micah Richards, Chris Sutton will be there for you to debate, dissect, discuss all the weekend action. Look ahead to the Champions League in the week as well. We've got full commentary on Manchester United Bayern Munich on Tuesday night. Manchester United needing the win and hoping that the game between Copenhagen and Galatasaray is a draw. Ball over the top towards Rodri, headed away from him, but Bernardo Silva brings it down to Walker's cross in. Rodri gets a left foot on the ball but can't get a proper finish on it, comes off his instep and goes out for a throw into Luton in the right back position.
When we go in, obviously we've made a big thing of Haaland not playing today, but when you look at the injuries that they have with Jeremy Doku, with Kevin De Bruyne and with Haaland, there isn't many teams in world football that can cope with those injuries, because that is 3 world-class players. That is, just quality and talent, and that's what can, that's what they need in games like this. When it's tight, when it's difficult to break an opposition down, when they're not creating as much, those are the players that are the game changers for them.
Luton leading Manchester City 1-0 at the moment, early stages of the second half. You're listening to it on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Football Daily podcast available on the BBC Sounds app, so after all the day's football, that'll get recorded this evening. Your one-stop shop to catch up with everything that's gone on today. Ball with Ruben Diaz inside his own half, chased by Adebayo, curling pass, asking a lot of Foden. Foden's beaten to it by Bell for Luton. Back to Lockyer. Lockyer will try to dribble past Alvarez. Alvarez makes the tackle, keeps it alive for Manchester City, and the ball eventually has gone out for a throw to the visitors. So they will keep the pressure up. Ball across to Kovacic. Luton, of course, were 3-3 against Arsenal late on here on Tuesday night and conceded in the 97th minute. They were about to beat Liverpool and conceded late in that game as well. Conceded late winners to West Ham and Burnley as well. So they'll be desperate to hold on to it this time. Kovacic to Rodri. Rodri turns, middle of the Luton half, sees Gvardiol in space on the left. Gvardiol delays the cross, Andros Townsend with him. Played back to Kovacic, outside of his right foot to Rodri. Rodri runs past Barkley, then tumbling, plays it back to Kovacic, 25 yards out, switch pass to Grealish. Mengi's in behind him, Grealish goes down, no free kick. Referee had a good view. Luton try and come on the counter. They can't find Adebayo. Nathan Jones.
Yeah, I mean, the referee's taken plenty of stick from the Luton fans in terms of the little things he's given Man City. That seemed a clear foul there, but he didn't. That would have been in a very dangerous position.
Bernardo Silva motoring forward, passes behind Grealish, finds Foden. Foden on the turn here, looking for Kyle Walker on the right. Goal at Goodison Park, Tom Gale.
Only their second attempt on goal. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was played in, denied by Sanchez. The rebound fell to Abdoulaye Doucouré on his 100th Premier League appearance for the club. He smashed it into the bottom corner. Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
Fulham 3, West Ham 0, Luton 1, Manchester City 0. Foden's fouled, edge of the penalty area, just on the edge of the D. Nakamba's caught him, free kick for Manchester City.
Dangerous position this, almost identical to the one early on, which Tim Robinson didn't give. He's given this real dangerous position.
So this is just a couple of yards out from the edge of the penalty area, inside right channel. Julian Alvarez loves to strike these for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva is in conversation with the Argentine, and at the moment referee Tim Robinson is marching a giant wall of orange-shirted Wolves players back 10 yards. Draft excluder, role being played, I think, by, is that Andros Townsend who's got the job there in behind the wall, just in case Alvarez tries to go clever and low. Adebayo, Brown, Ross Barkley all standing there, and Thomas Kaminski barking the orders from his goal line. Manchester City fans expectant, waiting behind the white goal net, pulled taut off the posts and crossbar surrounding Kaminski. Referees happy and ready here. Manchester City with Rodri and Ruben Dias have constructed their own two-man wall in front of the Luton wall. Bernardo Silva leaves it for Alvarez, deflection off the wall behind for the corner.
Wall did his job, really important there, and it's a big wall that Luton have.
So ball is slung out from that away end. Manchester City fans tucked in under the low roofs of the Oak Road end, that very characterful, distinctive walk you have between the back gardens of the houses to get in there as Alvarez floats it high, attacked by Rodri, nearly falls for Ake inside the penalty area. Overhead clearance from Nakamba, goes miles in the air. Rodri heads it onto the body of Lockyer, then it's played to the left to Silva. Barkley's got it down by the byline for Luton, clears with his left foot upfield. Andros Townsend chases, Kyle Walker chases. Walker gets there first and plays back to his goalkeeper Ederson.
I was just about to say, when of all Man City's threats and all the quality they have and the intricacies of their play, when it comes to a corner, I don't get that feeling that they're going to score. I don't get that feeling of real fear for Luton there, you know.
Both managers out and watching the action closely just beneath us here in our commentary position. Pep Guardiola with the arms crossed in the technical area. Foul on Bernardo Silva inside the Manchester City half. It was Tom Lockyer who was high up the field, and yellow card for Marvellous Nakamba, either for wasting time or for something he said to Tim Robinson after he gave the free kick.
It was time wasting, yeah. He just kept having hold of the ball. Man City wanted to do it quickly, as you'd expect, and he just kept hold of the ball. And obviously with the new legislation, that's not allowed.
Yeah, Roy Hodgson, I heard his interview last night. I'm sure you can hear it in the Football Daily on the BBC Sounds app, was saying how he was just falling out of love with the game for some of the stuff that was going on with the VAR, and he was talking in particular about when players aren't deliberately time wasting and pick up the yellow cards. But Nakamba's been booked there. Luton leading Manchester City by a goal to nil. Now that is a robust challenge from Mengi. He's barged into the back of Grealish. That is a free kick. And Phil Foden is saying to Grealish, get up, come on, let's keep going, don't grumble, we've got to keep this ball moving.
If you look, and I know we've made such a big thing of the missing players that they have, but everything Man City do at the minute is defeat. No one's going in beyond, no one's stretching the play. So Luton know they can keep a high line, they can be aggressive in defeat and keep Man City in front of them, and that's what they've done really well so far.
Free kick taken by Bernardo Silva, curled into the Luton box, falls to the feet of Ake. Ake's cross brilliantly blocked, appeals for handball, driven shot from Diaz off the bar.
Great save, that's a save from Kaminski.
Well, Kaminski has done wonderfully well for Luton there, made the great save from Foden in the first half. Diaz thought he'd scored. Manchester City come again. Rodri long way out, scuffs a low shot, well wide of the target. Goal kick.
That's a wonderful Luton save, unless my eyes have deceived me. I mean, he's gone high.
We'll have a look, Nathan, on the replay monitor here. Bernardo Silva's ball, it reached Ake's first cross, was blocked, came back. Yeah, you might be right, Nathan.
Well, I'm not usually a goalkeeper's unit. If he hasn't touched it, then they owe me one.
Don't want to give them credit where credit isn't due. Up off his right fingertips onto the bar, possibly.
No, I'm sure. I literally, in real time, it seemed that way.
Yeah. Match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:30. Liverpool's women have equalised at home against Bristol City in the WSL. Another goal at Fulham, Chris Wise.
It's 4-0 to Fulham, and had it not been for Garnacho's goal a couple of weeks ago, this would be one of the goals of the season from Harry Wilson. Edge of the box, bent it, left-footed, and it curled, and it swirled, and it bent beyond Fabianski into the top right-hand corner. It's a beauty, and it's Fulham 4, West Ham 0.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like one for match of the day tonight. Luton 1, Manchester City 0. Grealish on the ball inside his own half. Grealish passes across to Rodri. Rodri plays back to Ake. Ake forward to Kovacic. Kovacic turns into a bit of space. Still inside his own half. Tries to run it round Nakamba. Nakamba's got to be careful now on the yellow card. Ball comes across to Walker. Urgency from Walker towards Grealish. Knocked off balance by Bell. Bell in with another tackle. Definitely got the ball there. Grealish doesn't complain. Picks himself up. And Manchester City have to build again from inside their own half. Next break in play will take you back to Goodison Park. Last we heard from Tom Gale, Everton were leading Chelsea by 1-0. The ball is with Rodri here at Kenilworth Road, though. Full commentary, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Luton 1, Manchester City 0. Full commentary on Tottenham Newcastle to come. Foden, 30 yards out with his back to goal. Plays back to Kovacic. Patience as always from the champions. Kovacic slides it forward to Foden. Back to the Croatian. Across to Ruben Diaz. Diaz, ball out to Walker on the right. Jacob Brown right in front of him. Thinks about a 1-2 with Rodri. Rodri, clever skills, knocks it past Barkley. Rodri drives forward into the box, still going, runs into trouble. Curling shot from Bernardo Silva. It's an absolute peach into the bottom corner. And for a second there, Luton defenders were looking around and thinking whether the referee might make a call on Rodri running into Tom Lockyer, but Bernardo Silva reacted. It was a tiny slither of space he had to aim for, but he's curled a beauty into the bottom corner, and it's Luton 1, Manchester City 1. Just have to see, Nathan, won't we, what the referee decides, what the video assistant referee decides on the clash between Rodri and Lockyer as Rodri brings the ball forward. You're possibly thinking penalty even for Manchester City, maybe foul the other way.
I don't think they're going to rule it out for that. I mean, it could be the other way, it could be a possible penalty, but they've scored. So I think it's just coming together, you know. It's unfortunate, but what a wonderful, wonderful finish. And to be fair, the form that Kaminski's been in, it's taken something special to beat him.
Bernardo Silva so often the man to step up for Manchester City. Certainly today when Erling Haaland's not around. That is a fabulous finish from Bernardo Silva. Sorry, what I meant there, Nathan, was that sort of not that a penalty would be given after the goal, but no. I just wonder whether people just stopped for a second there, and Bernardo Silva didn't. He just reacted and thought, let's keep going, I can see an opportunity here. And we just have to see whether, I mean, I don't think Lockyer's going to get a foul for that either, is he, with Rodri running into him?
No, look, he was just coming together. He's gone to the monitors, is he?
No, let's have a look. He's coming to have a chat here to Carl Walker and Ruben Diaz. Yeah, okay. No, goal's going to stand. Okay. Luton 1, Manchester City 1. Bernardo Silva scoring it with his left foot sweetly for Manchester City. 62nd minute of the game, long way to go. Kaminski with his right foot. It was going to take something special to beat him today, and that was special.
I wonder if there's going to be a point today where we are going to stop talking about Erling Haaland and being and not in the lineup today.
Doubt it, actually.
Yeah, you've got to be some special player if in this Man City team you are the one they absolutely miss.
Fourth goal of the season then for Bernardo Silva, and he's now doing the closing down duties as Giles plays it back to Bell, and Bell clears with his left foot and Walker heads it away. So Luton pegged back Jacob Brown trying to control the ball wide on the left. Rodri turns, first time ball back to Ederson. Manchester City, you can see almost visibly, physically trying to assert themselves on Luton. We're the champions, we're here to win this game. They've got themselves back into it. Bell's got to be careful inside his own half. That was off his chest, Alvarez, with the block, and it's going to turn into a counter-attack for Manchester City. Alvarez cross beyond Silva. Grealish, 2-1. Manchester City with a rapier-like thrust. It was Alvarez who leaned forward. He blocked the pass with his chest. That's what Luton are complaining about. They think there was a handball. Again, it will be checked by the video assistant referee. But for the time being, Jack Grealish has the goal. Luton 1, Manchester City 2.
I think it's hit his face, not his chest. Look, it'll be checked. There's no need to panic and stuff. It'll be checked, so the right decision surely will be made. But I think it's come off his face, not his hand.
Let's have a look. Key moment coming here right now. You're right, chin.
Off his chin.
Off his chin. And it's actually really clever defending from Alvarez to keep his arms out of the way there and just get something on that ball so that it broke for Manchester City. Quick as a flash, there you go. The other question will be whether Alvarez was onside when the ball was played to him. Mengi couldn't quite clear it at the far post. Desperate lunge from him, and Jack Grealish in the right spot, arriving at the far post with his left foot. The ball goes through Kaminski into the back of the net, and just like that, Nathan, Luton were 1-up a couple of minutes ago. Now they're 2-1 down.
Look, and that's the quality they've got. What it's really important now, Luton can't lose their heads. You know, Tom Lockyer is complaining quite a lot. It's going to be checked. So if he did handball it, it's going to be checked. And it wasn't. Clearly it wasn't. Got to play on. Tim Robinson did the right thing. He thought about blowing. He thought about pulling it back. He left it, and that was the correct thing to do. Good refereeing. You know, it's tough, really tough on Luton, but good refereeing.
2 goals in 3 minutes. Bernardo Silva, 62nd minute. Jack Grealish, 65th minute. And Manchester City, all of a sudden, find themselves in front. Great response. If they win this game, they move to 33 points. Liverpool 37, Arsenal 36, Villa 35, and Manchester City would be on 33. Tottenham start the day on 27. Newcastle start the day on 26. Full commentary on that game coming your way on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. John Murray will have the team news for us shortly. Everton still leading Chelsea by 1-0, and Fulham absolutely thumping West Ham by 4-0. Nakamba's interception forward to Adebayo, flicks it round the corner. Jacob Brown, little chip pass into the box. Adebayo stays strong, standing tall, wins the corner for Luton.
These are the moments they've have to take. You know, a good response from Luton going 1-0 down, but it's a real good response, and these are the moments now.
Yeah, now a goal behind, having been a goal ahead. We are Luton 1, Manchester City 2. Blue skies have disappeared. Sunshine has dipped beneath the level of the roof of the main stand opposite. Storm clouds are gathering, and Manchester City has some defending to do. Luton corners are difficult to defend. Doughty, an away swinger. 3 Manchester City players there. Rodri heads it away. Brave from Ake to get a second header on it. Volleyed pass there is out to Townsend. Townsend's followed by Foden, and the ball is played back to Nakamba. Cross here to Giles. Giles floats one into the Manchester City penalty area. Alvarez heads it away for a throw. Manchester City are going to make a change here. John Stones, deep in conversation with his manager Pep Guardiola, is about to come into this game, and we've still got a quarter of it to go. Great dribbling. Oh, Ross Barkley slices the shot wide. Brilliant body movement to swerve past a couple of challenges and couldn't quite find the finish. Back to Goodison Park, Tom Gale.
Where it's Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Ali, both managers making changes. The visitors, on comes Nicholas Jackson and Raheem Sterling. Broja and Fernandez off. As for the home side, Calvert-Lewin's afternoon is over. He's replaced by Beto. It is Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
John Stones is going to be coming on for Josko Gvardiol, and Gvardiol, much to the Luton fans' annoyance, is jogging all the way across the pitch here to be replaced, rather than going round the edge of the pitch and exiting the pitch from the nearest point. They feel it's time wasting. Quickly to Henry Moran. He's watching England's women against India's women in the T20 in Mumbai.
Well, early wicket, Shafali Verma bowled by Freya-Kemp, 11 for 1 in the third.
11 for 1. Thank you, Henry. Radio 5 Sports Extra, you got Everton, Chelsea. Fulham West Ham is available as a commentary online via the BBC Sports website now. Tottenham Newcastle on the way here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Tottenham Manchester United in the WSL on Sports Extra from 6:30. And the Bills at the Chiefs in the NFL on Sports Extra this evening. Lockyer, good aggressive defending, climbs above Alvarez, wins a header. Luton fans right into this, really feeling the injustice at the moment as Ederson plays out to Diaz. Diaz first time ball into midfield. Foden leaps, tries to control it. Caught Brown. It's Foden who's down hurt, but it was Foden who actually made the foul. Walker challenges Brown as well. Adebayo brings it in from the left. Manchester City continue to play. Foden seems in real pain here because he's got his hand across his eyes, his left hand across his face, writhing around, having taken a knock on the left leg, but it was his tackle on Brown. But he looks in real distress, actually, now.
Yeah, I think it's an impact one. Just seeing it there. Yeah, it's an impact one. I don't think no fault to Brown whatsoever, and to Foden's committed, gone in. Oh.
Yeah. What do you think? VAR's having a look at the challenge, so it's a 50-50. And what you're seeing there, Nathan, is that Brown's foot is a little high.
And
he's coming in for the ball.
He's
gone over the ball. Yeah, he's gone to the side of the ball, and his studs are coming down hard on Foden's ankle. We are checking for a possible red card for serious foul play.
Look, knowing Jacob Brown, there's no malice in it, but it doesn't. It looks. Look, obviously VAR will. No, I'm not sure it's a red. Look, it's no malice, no intent there really.
Jared Gillett is the video assistant referee, and we can see on our monitor here that the challenge is being run at normal speed at the moment, time and time and time again. They're going to take their time over this one. Crucial decision in the game. Luton trailing Manchester City by 2-1, and Jacob Brown in danger potentially of being sent off for the challenge on Phil Foden. Tim Robinson, I think, has now heard from Jared Gillett because he seems to be marching back into the middle of the field here to get the game back underway.
I think the right decision. The right decision. I don't think there's any malice, and I don't think they merited a red card in terms of that.
Okay.
And it's one of those strikers' challenges.
Yeah. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. Still got a real game on our hands here. 20 minutes to go.
Well, in recent weeks, I know a lot of I've listened, I've watched sort of programmes, found it's questioned Man City's sort of game management at times. Losing leads, the Tottenham game especially. It's interesting to see how they do that today. Now, I think the crowd are up. Anything they give Luton, the crowd will get up. It'll be more difficult. It's interesting to see now for me how they manage this game.
Former Luton Town boss Nathan Jones with us here at Kenilworth Road. Andros Townsend's coming off. Double change coming for Luton. That gives us time to get to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and get the team news ahead of our next commentary here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. John Murray is there.
Yes, some glimmers of good news for both in amongst the injury chaos. Son is fit for Tottenham. They make 2 changes with Richarlison and Sarr back in the team. Lo Celso and Højbjerg make way and are on the bench. Newcastle are unchanged, so their captain, Lascelles, is fit, and Wilson and Longstaff are back from injury as substitutes.
Thank you, John. Pat Nevin alongside John for commentary this afternoon. Double change here at Luton. Andros Townsend replaced by Carlton Morris, and Albert Sambi Lokonga is on for Marvellous Nakamba. So Lokonga on loan from Arsenal. The Belgian comes into the Luton midfield. Luton 1, Manchester City 2.
I think we got a real change of shape as well. You're looking like they're going 2 up top. Or maybe Elijah Adebayo's going out to the right-hand side but yeah, in place of Andros Townsend.
Lockyer plays back to Mengi. Mengi's definitely caught there by Rodri, who was steadfastly trying to avoid the referee's gaze because he knew what was coming there, and sure enough, Tim Robinson brandishes the yellow card, and Rodri.
No, I don't think there's a change of shape. I think it's similar. I think Elijah will drift out to that right-hand side, and then anytime it's on the opposite side, drift in and probably make a 2 up top there, which, again, any balls that can be put into the box could cause Man City real problems. Manchester City
still leading by 2-1, coping with a little bit of adversity here at Kenilworth Road this afternoon. Went behind, no Erling Haaland in the matchday squad, wanted to fly down ahead of the game last night, but weren't able to do so because of the weather, so came down this morning. Now they lead 2-1, and here's Alvarez on the ball, breaking from deep up towards the halfway line. Finds Bernardo Silva via a deflection from Jacob Brown. Brown picks himself up, keeps chasing, tries to force Silva out of play. Silva's still going. Giles makes the tackle. Manchester City win the throw. We say it week after week after week. What a player he is for Manchester City, Nathan. Bernardo Silva.
I don't think anyone's ever described him as like a wily character. His dribbling skills old-fashioned and keeps the ball close to him. Sees things, intelligence, quality, and doesn't rely on pace. In terms of just his pure quality and intelligence, and as I said, at times can be a wily character, as we've seen then.
Here he is, the wily Silva, caught late by Giles. Giles apologises, he made the challenge, trod on Silva's toes. You heard the yelp of pain from up here. Free kick for Manchester City. So we've got 17 minutes plus added time to play. Luton 1, Manchester City 2, and you could sense, actually, I think Nathan can actually sense they want this third goal to give them the 2-goal cushion, because they know Luton are still dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at this place, with that team on there, Luton are still dangerous. Anything can happen. The set play, momentum can change. As you've seen, it was quite comfortable at times for Luton, and then momentum changed within 2 minutes.
Goals from Silva and Grealish. Silva runs over the free kick. Alvarez takes it, curling ball. Kaminski punches. Kovacic volleys, blocked by Lokonga. Offside flag was up, it wouldn't have counted. And Lokonga, you feel the sting from here. He's holding his ribs on his right-hand side, having taken that full-blooded right-footed strike from Kovacic right on the side of his body. Good defending. Free kick, Luton.
Been really impressed with Kaminski in each and every time I've seen him. Probably was at fault for one goal when I was here, the Tottenham goal, I think it was. But apart from that, he's had an excellent. I was at West Ham, actually. It was Jarrod Bowen's header. But apart from that, he's been absolutely excellent. Again, being really proactive, coming through bodies.
First season at the club for him, former Blackburn goalkeeper, 3 seasons with them in the Championship. Here's Carlton Morris, the substitute, trying to keep the ball in play, just manages that wide on the right as Luton attack. Morris's cross low into the legs of Diaz, throwing for Luton. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. 15 minutes remaining in the game, with Tottenham Newcastle on the way here on 5 Live this afternoon, and then Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage taking your calls from about 6:30 through until 8 o'clock tonight on 6:06. Manchester City thought they had that covered, but Rodri has to step in and clear from his own penalty area. Grealish prods it towards Alvarez. Alvarez under pressure, he's lost it. Adebayo, little back heel, now heading into the penalty area. Ake gets his body in the way. Good defending. Alvarez in the left back position. Thought about launching one long, but there's no one there, so goes low up the middle of the pitch to Silva. Silva's tackled. Edge of the area, Ross Barkley trying to make something of it. Rodri senses the danger and comes hurtling across to try and get his body in the way. Wide to Giles. Giles low cross is blocked by Silva. Rodri's going to run it out for Manchester City, then finds Foden. And this is where City will be dangerous if Luton leave them those spaces to come on the counter-attack, and that's what they're looking for at the moment. Kovacic in central midfield. Well, that's a yellow card. Alfie Doughty saw the danger, hauls him back by the shoulders. Free kick, Manchester City.
Yeah, look, good foul, good tactical foul. I didn't want to say it too early because I said there's a long to get, but Rodri's been absolutely different class today. When you see him close up, you watch it on TV, it's not until you actually see him close up do you realise the job he does for this world-class team.
It's why, Nathan, isn't it, when we were talking about the team news right at the start of the day, and actually you've said in the second half, will we eventually stop talking about Haaland not being here? The one real positive, I've done it again, haven't I, was Rodri back. And you only have to look at the stats. Unbeaten in their last 43 games, and Rodri's in the team in all competitions. Last 5 games he's not played, they've lost them. That just tells you everything with the numbers. Alvarez trips over the ball, then he accidentally trips Lockyer. No, he doesn't. Play continues. Lockyer stumbles. He's down. Ake plays it to his left. Could be a chance for City this. Grealish cross towards the far post. Giles heads it behind, and that'll be a corner to Manchester City.
Yeah, he's such a world-class player, but as you said, you only appreciate him when you see him at close hand. You really do, and you play with him. And if you see that record of 43 games unbeaten, well, God willing, if I get a job, you kick me on first signing.
3 Premier League defeats this season for Manchester City, all without Rodri in the team. One in midweek against Aston Villa. What a week Villa have had. Balls with Kyle Walker, swinging cross to the far post. Ake heads it up in the air. Diaz nods it back to the penalty spot. Miscue by Doughty. Silva on the half volley. Good strike. Shot strikes Ross Barkley. Rodri's there. Little 1-2 with Alvarez. Rodri plays it back across to Kovacic. 12 minutes remaining. Referee Tim Robinson just shuffles out of the way. Rodri to Foden. Foden sees Bell in front of him. Finds Grealish in space on the left for Manchester City. Trying to close this game out, the champions. Leading Luton by 2-1, looking for a first win in their last 5 games. Poor pass from Foden, desperate to win it back. Sliding challenge, takes it off Barkley. Alvarez just over the bar. Fizzing, dipping shot. Kaminski stretched, and it's gone behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, a little quick turnover there. Luton did well, had an opportunity to break, but Foden reacted very, very quickly, won the ball back, and then dipping effort from Alvarez, wasn't too far away.
Everton still leading Chelsea by 1-0. Everton, of course, winners against Newcastle on Thursday. Imagine that if they put back-to-back wins against Newcastle and Chelsea together. Still playing in that game, commentary over on Radio 5 Sports Extra, and Fulham definitely heading for a win this afternoon, leading West Ham by 4-0. Barkley on the ball for Luton. Runs into the Manchester City half. High lofted diagonal. Bounces once. Giles stretches. Volleys a clever pass into Brown. Good first touch from Brown. Tackled by Bernardo Silva. Corner for Luton.
Again, say it again. These are the moments. You feel if Luton are going to get back into this game, Ross Barkley's going to be at the heart of it. You know, it shows that element of control, big diagonal to isolate 1v1 out there, and then they get a corner.
Well, Luton have pushed Liverpool all the way at home recently, pushed Arsenal all the way in the week, pushing Manchester City all the way again here. Trailing 2-1, but a corner for them in front of the Kenilworth Road stand. Rob Edwards trying to get some signals out onto the field for yet another one of these Luton corners. Will Manchester City hold firm? Doughty's delivery, away swinger, miscued header from Diaz, goes straight back to Doughty, leaps in the air, just keeps that in play. Ball spun off his forehead, lands at his feet, rolls it back to Giles. Giles is cross in, only to the edge of the box. Kovacic volleys it away. Huge sigh of relief from the Manchester City fans away to our right. And here's Lokonga inside his own half across to Bell. Bell forward for Luton, passes it beyond Alvarez, lobbed up in the air by Doughty. Diaz again with a slightly miscued header, it goes behind him. Ball bounces in front of Kyle Walker. Walker chips it forward. Lockyer wins it in front of Grealish. Foden plays it forward to Alvarez, to Foden, to Grealish, trying to hold off Lockyer, can't quite do it. Giles plays it away. Kyle Walker controls. Jacob Brown comes in with the challenge. Walker's under pressure. 2 Luton players around him. Down the line it goes. Rodri does brilliantly to keep it in play and then find Foden. Foden over the top looking for Grealish. It's beyond Grealish and rolls all the way through to Kaminski. Luton play out. Here's Lokonga. Receives it from Mengi. Mengi continues his run on the right. Prodded forward into the Manchester City half. John Stones comes across to cover Doughty. Doughty's ball hits Stones. Falls to Bernardo Silva. It's very open at the moment in the closing stages of this game. Last 10 minutes. And it's Manchester City leading Luton by 2-1. Kovacic brings the ball across midfield and just slows it down for a second. It goes back to Diaz, forward to Alvarez. Alvarez is going to be a busy boy for Manchester City, has been all season, but particularly with Erling Haaland missing. Kovacic bursting forward, trying to take it past Lockyer. Had to be a handball by Kovacic that, stuck a left arm out. Assistant referee didn't see it. Manchester City get the throw after Lockyer knocks it out of play. So throw in attacking position on the right. Mateus Nunes will come on for Manchester City and he will replace Mateo Kovacic.
I think Kovacic's done well. I think he's been a real good foil for Rodri in there.
Pep Guardiola screaming instructions across the field to Nathan Ake. Wind gusting up, blowing along the gantry here at Kenilworth Road. Mateus Nunes, summer signing from Wolves, into the action for Manchester City, trying to see this game out, get the all-important 3 points, get themselves back to winning ways. Throw in towards Alvarez. Alvarez down by the byline, tries to wriggle away from the challenge. Giles' clearance hits Alvarez and it goes behind for the goal kick to Luton, which Kaminski will take quickly, just plonks the ball down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Tahith Chong, former Manchester United man, ready to come on for Luton as well in the closing stages here. Tottenham-Newcastle commentary on the way in about 45 minutes time. All the reaction to today's football in the Football Daily podcast on the BBC Sounds app. Alvarez, clever little pass to Nunes, who's stumbling as Lockyer just leans into him and helps him on his way. That's not a free kick, that's a throw-in for Luton. Assistant referee signals as such. Ladies from Goodison Park, Tom Gale.
Well, like yourselves, Ali, we're inside the final 10 minutes. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. Raheem Sterling's come on, he's looked lively, he's seen plenty of the ball, but still to offer up any end product. It is Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
Ryan Giles was about to take the throw in for Luton. He's coming off. Tahith Chong is coming on. Pep Guardiola right beneath his bawling at Carl Walker, who was trying to ignore him, and then he was right in his ear. I mean, he was literally right next to him, so Walker couldn't ignore him any longer. Yes, boss, he nods. I know. Got it covered. Adebayo gives the ball away. Nunes tries to find Foden or Alvarez, finds neither. Foden looking to close down, runs into the back of Lockyer and goes flying over the back of him. Time running out for Luton to try and find the equaliser. Mengi plays it back to Kaminski. Across it comes to Amari Bell in the left-back position for Luton. Chipped forward. Clever flick on from Morris. Offside flag goes up against Adebayo. Now, that's a shame, Nathan, because that was developing into something promising, wasn't it?
That could have been promising. Look, this is as attacking a lineup Luton can probably field at this point in time. Four real front-footed front men, the midfield, the both ball-playing, attacking midfield players. You've got Jacob Brown playing in deep, looks like a left-back position, left wing-back position. It is as attacking as possible.
Diaz's free kick forward has ended up in the Luton penalty area. Brown brings it away for the home team and then loses his balance and hurts himself as he clears with his left foot, so we're going to get another stoppage in play. Not sure whether we're going to get a Manchester City throw or a Luton free kick. I don't think it was flagged as a free kick. Back to Goodison Park though while we wait. Tom Gale.
Where it's Everton 1, Chelsea 0, but injury concerns grow for Maurizio Pochettino. He's had to take off his goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, and George Petrovic comes on for Serbian for his Chelsea debut. We've played 84 minutes. It is Everton 1, Chelsea 0.
Brighton 1, Leicester 2, closing stages in the 2 o'clock kickoff in the WSL. Manchester City throw here, they're leading 2-1. Carl Walker waiting to take it. He's pointing down the right-hand touchline, wants someone to run there. It's a decoy, he throws it to Foden, who volleys it back to him. Here's Rodri. Darts between Barkley and Chong. Back to Foden, ball hits Foden, still manages to control it, and then it's stabbed away into the Luton penalty area. And Doughty, down by the byline, is able to play it back to his goalkeeper. Fulham still leading West Ham by 4-0. Closing stages of that one. Commentary available online, available via the BBC Sport website and app. All the highlights on Match of the Day tonight, 10:30 BBC One. Ake challenged as he makes a run down the left. No free kick, and Phil Foden implores the referee to change his mind, which he obviously won't do. That must be out of play. Adebayo turns, he's tackled, and that'll be a throw-in for Manchester City. Nathan Jones.
I think we're looking at a bit of injury time there. So still time here to get an equalising goal. Obviously, Man City have managed the game since we mentioned it on 73, 74 minutes. They've managed the game quite well, managed to come relatively unscathed to the final 5 minutes of the game.
Ake, wide on the left, cross takes a deflection, that'll roll harmlessly into the arms of Kaminski. If Everton get the win this afternoon, they go to 13 points. If Luton lose this, little bit of a gap developing. Sheffield United bottom on 8, Burnley also on 8, Luton would be on 9, and then Everton would be next on 13. Had it not been for the 10-point deduction, they'd be flying high on 23. Chong dribbling for Luton, roughly barged to the floor by Rodri. Don't try any fancy dribbling here, son, says Rodri. Down you go. Free kick for Luton. Barkley curls it across the halfway line, risky, intercepted by Grealish, lays it off to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva is sort of running into no man's land over there on the left-hand side. No support from him. Alvarez will chase the ball forward. Might nearly get there. Doughty beats him to it. Turned into a really dangerous ball, and that's a corner. No, it's not. Goal kick for Manchester City because Alvarez got the last touch.
Yeah, the irony there was Nathan Ake. All game they've had bodies in the box and haven't really put the ball in the box. Tried to score the perfect goal. He's just no one in the box. He gets down and he actually crosses it.
Ball is played towards Mengi. We are into the 88th minute of the game at Kenilworth Road.
I know it's not our game, and maybe we shouldn't mention it, but how good a job has Sean Dyche done?
Oh, I was there on Thursday night, Nathan. And also, as a football club, they are so together and united,
Well, it can galvanise, but you still got to win games. And as we said, this is the most brutal league in the world for punishing things. But what a job he's done.
West Ham 0, Everton 0, half-time score in the WSL this evening. Manchester City dawdling a little, overtaking an attacking throw-in. Grealish holds the ball above his head. Post-match reaction to come. Grealish throws to Alvarez. We'll try and get a little bit more from Pep Guardiola on the prognosis on Erling Haaland, missing today with a foot injury. Grealish was caught there. Free kick, Manchester City, is it? Referee
Yes.
Tim Robinson comes
Yes.
over to have a word with Doughty, who just got Grealish late. Luton for them next, Bournemouth away, then Newcastle come here, then Sheffield United away, and then Chelsea come here. So the home games, I mean, you think of the teams they've played recently, like Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle and Chelsea, the next two visitors. Another goal at Craven Cottage. Which way has this one gone, Chris Wise?
5-star Fulham, just like it was against Nottingham Forest during the week. 2 minutes to go on the break, long ball over the top. West Ham defence completely static from Reed's pass. Wilson in on goal, unselfish, squared it for Vinicius. Fulham 5 again, West Ham 0.
Have you got to do the post-match interviews, Chris?
I have, but I might just err towards just doing Marco Silva. What do you think?
Yes, I don't think David Moyes is going to be in great mood after that. 5-0, Fulham 5, West Ham 0. Everton closing in on a 1-0 win. Brighton 2, Leicester 2. A couple of late goals in that game in the WSL. Luton making a late change here. We're into the 90th minute of the game. Luton led 1-0 until just after the hour mark, and then Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish scored in quick succession for Manchester City.
Sorry, I stand corrected. They can get more attacking. Taking off the captain, Tom Lockyer, putting on Jordan Clark. Again.
Yeah, and we're going to see how much added time we've got. Did that just go up? Ball drops here to Carlton Morris, edge of the penalty area. Free kick for Luton. Ruben Diaz says he headed the ball. You heard the Luton fans shout for a handball. Tim Robinson says there was a foul in there, an infringement, and it will be a Luton free kick. And it's shooting range. This 25 yards out, level with Ederson's right-hand post, which he's standing alongside. He's got the post in one hand, and he's got his left hand up in the other, trying to marshal the wall. So, are we going to get some late drama? Luton have been conceding late goals at home recently. Can they find themselves
6 minutes
a late goal to score? 6 minutes, thank you Nathan, of added time, end of this game. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. Three-man wall, long way out this, unless Ross Barkley wants to hit one of those sort of knuckleball dippers, or Doughty with his left foot could curl it into the old corridor of...
It's not the biggest of walls either.
No, it's not actually, is it? Alvarez, Foden and Nunes.
It looks like they're going to put it in.
Yeah, Doughty curling it towards the far post. Brown stretches, Ake reads it, heads it behind, but Luton do get the corner.
Yeah, again, size and power. It's a big, strong Luton side there. A quality ball needed. Man City have defended these very, very well today, and they're going to have to do that, you feel, in the last 5 minutes to come away here with 3 points.
Last couple have been away swingers. This will be an in-swinger.
Must miss the near post.
Must miss the first man. In it comes.
He
It
has.
will do that. Here it comes. Oh, Ederson missed it. Headed away. Chong tries to bring it down edge of the box. Luton fans appealing for a handball. Chong stabs it forward. Play continues. Jacob Brown lets the ball run out for another corner. Let's see what the referee says. He's saying corner. He's not saying wait yet. There were Luton penalty appeals in there. Chong brought the ball down. It spins up in the air. I mean, Grealish has got his arms by his side, elbows tucked in, his palms sort of pointing up, it's hit with the side of the body.
It is belly.
Yeah, corner. I mean, that's the thing though, Nathan, you never know now. As soon as there's a shout, you've got to wait for those replays, because they spot all sorts of things. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Manchester City under pressure but leading 2-1. Doughty's delivery deep to the far post, headed away, bounces in front of Mengi. Mengi plays back here to Lokonga, who's got Bell in support, but Bell is deep, just inside the Manchester City half. Diagonal ball from him. Alvarez is there in the right-back position to head it away for Manchester City, and it will go out for a throw-in, which Alfie Doughty is about to take. Doughty throws it to Chong. Referee says, wait, we're going to get a change here. Late goal at Goodison Park, Tom Gale.
This one's done and dusted, Ali. Everton 2, Chelsea 0. Maurizio Pochettino's side failed to deal with the corner. Edge of the box. Academy product, Lewis Dobbin with a pile driver straight into the back of the net. We've got a minimum of 7 minutes of added time. Everton 2, Chelsea 0.
Fulham 5, West Ham 0 here. Luton 1, Manchester City 2. Full commentary on Tottenham, Newcastle on the way. Foden off, Akanji on for Manchester City.
See the logic in that.
In terms of what, defending these set pieces?
Absolutely,
Nathan?
size. Another big man. They're overpowered in there. They defended them fantastically well, but doesn't. It won't harm them having an extra pair of hands as it was.
Doughty's throw to Barkley. Barkley battling for it with Mateus Nunes. Manchester City get the throw. And again, Nathan, do you know what it's going to be? If it does end up like this, it's going to be another single goal defeat. So they're going to have lost 5 games at home here, but each of them by a single goal. No one is coming here and running away with it and walking all over Luton, but they're just on the wrong end of them.
The thing is, no one's come here in 6, 7, 8 years and overrun Luton and dominated. Even when, you know, they play Premier League sides, and we played Chelsea here. We only lost 3-2. We led twice. I made 10 changes. So that doesn't surprise me.
2.5 minutes to go. Manchester City leading. Ball is headed forward by Rodri. Out for a throw into Luton, but Manchester City have Luton penned in. If you're talking about a sort of game of rugby, keeping the opponents inside their half, that has to be a foul. That was a rugby tackle on Carlton Morris from Ruben Dias, and Dias knew it, picks himself up and backs off. So free kick for Luton, halfway line. Doughty will try and get it forward to the edge of the box, and Luton will look to win that first ball, and then hopefully they think it will fall for them. You're right, Nathan, you spotted Chong in loads of space on the left, but this free kick is going to be aimed to the right from Doughty. High diagonal ball, falls to Mengi. Mengi, edge of the area, stands it up into the box, too close to Ederson, who comes diving forward and grabs it gratefully to his chest.
Yeah, not the best ball there, underhit. The wind probably played a part. You're feeling maybe one more chance in this, just over a minute for Man City to see this game out.
4.5 minutes of the 6 minutes of added time gone. Handball given against Mengi, 90 seconds to play. Free kick for Manchester City inside the Luton half. They are going to have enough. They were behind at half time, but they found a way to win. Without Erling Haaland today, goals from Bernardo Silva.
I thought we were talking about
that. Well,
you just
I wouldn't be
yourself.
doing my job journalistically, Nathan, if I didn't mention it, because someone might have tuned in and thought, oh, but Haaland scored a couple there. Not involved at all today, and Rob Noffman is going to go down and have a word with Pep Guardiola and Rob Edwards after the game as Alvarez chips it forward. Post-match reaction here on 5 Live, but also available in the Football Daily podcast on the BBC Sounds app. Last minute of the game, Ake heads it forward. Everton heading for 3 points at Goodison Park. Fulham have thumped West Ham, and it looks like Manchester City are going to get the job done here. Waiting for the throw-in to be taken by Ake.
There's some sort of moral victory when you see Man City trying to keep it in the corner, trying to win. It shows how well Luton have played and how much they have pushed them that.
Oh, Jack Grealish getting a little bit wound up late on, just off the ball with Tayden Mengi, gave him a shove in the back. But the referee just leaves it quite sensibly, nothing developed from it. Luton take their goal kick quickly, and this is their last chance. 6 minutes of added time are up. So it's just at the referee's discretion now as Amari Bell brings it forward for Luton. It's going to be another painful defeat by a single goal margin unless Doughty gets into this Manchester City penalty area, wins a late corner. Here we go.
Couldn't write it. You can't write it.
Here we go. Former Luton boss Nathan Jones alongside at Kenilworth Road. Fulham have beaten West Ham by 5 goals to 0. Full-time whistle has blown. The keeper is up as well. All the Luton fans on their feet. Pep Guardiola looks anxious and fidgety beneath us.
Well, he's saying the 6 are up, and that's what it is.
Alfie Doughty's corner into the near post, headed across the face of goal, falls towards Chong, chests it down, we keep playing, Kaminsky stays forward, another cross in, too close to Ederson, and Pep Guardiola shakes the hand of the 4th official, Craig Pawson, says thank you very much. Even without Erling Haaland, my team has got the job done. A first win in 5 games for them. Goodness me, they needed that. It was tough. They were 1-0 down at the break, but goals in the second half from Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish have got the job done. Another terrific home performance from Luton Town though, Nathan.
No, pushing the champions right to the limit. You know, you see the respect there for the managers. Pep had a long chat with Rob Edwards, no doubt, saying, look, you did yourself credit there, they pushed us really hard, but it has to be said, they've showed their class today. One, they conceded it really against the run of play. They've scored 2 goals to get them back in it, and then they've had to defend their box and see out that game and showed a different side to them.
Another tough one for the Luton fans to take, but they obviously appreciate the efforts of their team. How long are Manchester City going to be without Erling Haaland? There you go. I've said it one more time. The title race is tightening up beautifully. Liverpool 37, Arsenal 36, Villa 35, Manchester City 33. Luton 1, Manchester City 2.
Yeah, Nathan Jones, I know who not to ask you about, and I also know who to ask you about, because Listen, they had a really tough time against Arsenal. They gave it so much. They came so close. They came so close to beating Liverpool. They put in another good performance today. All right, they didn't get any points, but have they shown again that Kenilworth Road can be a big weapon in staying up this season?
It absolutely, but look, it's nothing they didn't know. I mean, it is such a special place. It's such a difficult place to come. The atmosphere, the way that the parameters of the ground and how tight it is, and the fans on top. All these things they have to use. They did that towards the end of the end of the first half, where a great ball in showed what had got them that success anyway, and then really needed to go a little longer without conceding. Bernardo Silva showed his class. Rodri was just immense all day. He's the best defensive midfield player in world football. I really, really feel he's so efficient, so clever, so quality, and he today was the linchpin that gave them that platform to win the game.
Totally different look on the face of Pep Guardiola than when he came back out for the start of the second half. Big, broad smile, strutting around the pitch at Kenilworth Road, high fives all round. And his players deserve a lot of credit for the way they came out in the second half, Nathan.
Yeah. They're not champions for nothing. They've had to come from behind. They can score goals. At times they had to dig deep, and they showed a different side to them. I was here for the Tottenham game here when Tottenham were magnificent for periods of the game. Went down to 10 men and had to see out the game. And this is a difficult place to see out a game with the size, potency, power that Luton have. See, they've had to show a different side of the game today, but they've showed why they're champions. They've got quality. They've 3 players missing. Their best 3 players missing. Well, 3 of their best 4 players are missing. So look, they've shown why they are champions today.
Steve, we've had some classic Guardiola remonstrations. Did you see that with Ruben Diaz?
Yeah. Brilliant, and with Jack Grealish as well.
Oh, I didn't see the ones with Grealish, but it was Erling Haaland earlier in the season. Something he's clearly not happy about. But his players know they can have a go back, and they've just won the game. And Diaz and Guardiola and Grealish the same in sort of heated, not confrontation, but debate, discussion about what could be done better. But that's a really important win, Steve. That's the first win in 5 games, and they've been conceding goals and conceded first today. I'm just going to say it in brackets, without Haaland, they did turn it around and scored 2 good goals in the second half.
And I'm sure that the game on Tuesday, they would have watched the Arsenal game. They would have seen how good a team Arsenal are, but how much they were pushed. And I think that would have given them, not a wake-up call, but that would have given them that little bit of impetus to say, hey, if we're not at it today in both sides of the game, we're not going to get anything.
You managed against Pep Guardiola, Nathan, and it was brilliant watching him there just come off the pitch. The bit I saw with Jack Grealish, he was giving everybody else a high five. He went up to Grealish, remonstrated with him. Grealish's smile went to a frown. Then he ruffled his hair and he was smiling again. He just knows how to get the best out of everybody, doesn't he?
Well, look, he's world class. 2, he gets the respect of everyone. He's just won a game, so you can pretty much do what you want anyway. But he obviously got a real close bond with these. He shows that he cares about players. He shows he wants to make them better. He changes their lives. He changes how they think about the game. So of course, look, it's a real, it's a real relationship he builds with his players. But winning does help to do that.
And Steve, Nathan here will know all about the relationship you can build with these Luton Town fans. The last person to leave the field there, the Luton manager Rob Edwards, 1 win in the last 10 games for Luton. They're sitting in the bottom 3, but the fans can see exactly what he's doing and what this team are giving them, and that was a standing ovation he got from that corner of the main stand as he left the field.
Look, the fans are aligned here with what everything he wants to achieve. They have an element of realism with them, because they'll know it's a tough thing. But when they see what we said was we'd give them a team they can be proud of, and you see it every week. And Rob's continued that, and Rob's doing a great job in terms of everything that Luton are giving them, and the fans look at it and they go, yeah, we can relate to that.
Nathan, Ali, thank you both very much indeed. Yeah, Rob Edwards has just kind of perfected that pride but frustrated look. It's something he's had to deal with a few times this season. He's gone down the tunnel, and the first chance he has to look at a TV screen, he will see that Luton are now in the relegation zone because of what's happened this afternoon.